Enjoy the action. It's a big day on Sportsline, and what a game to kick us off. It's Celtic against Rangers, live from Celtic Park with Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Yeah, a hugely key fixture here in Glasgow's East End. The rain is falling. I mean, been snow earlier on for about a good hour. The snow was dinging it down on the Celtic Park pitch, but it's completely clear now, if a little heavy, as the two sets of players exchange handshakes down there. The one time this afternoon where there will be pleasantries between these two most bitter of rivals. Celtic coming into this one with the better of things in the fixture in recent years. They've only lost one of the last 8. As Rangers look for just a second or third victory here at Celtic Park since 2010-11 season. But they have taken something from Celtic Park in 4 of the last 7 visits, so we know what form they're in, we know what kind of statement they want to make today, but they're going up against the undisputed kings of Scottish football for more than a decade now, the treble winners last season, but Rangers League Cup winners this season, as Callum McGregor trots over to the Celtic huddle off to the left. So that will take place just now. And actually over the last 23 meetings it's been relatively even. They've both won 10 apiece, and a few draws involved in that as well. And it was Celtic who came out on top in the only meeting so far this term at Ibrox. That Kyogo goal in the first half. The Celtic supporters, 60,000 of them, give or take, around the stadium with their scarves held aloft. The Rangers players looking around, trying to blank all that noise out. And we know the kind of atmosphere that this place can generate on a day like this. 5 points between them. Celtic currently with the advantage at the top, but Rangers do have 2 games in hand. And if they won those, potentially it would be they sitting top of the Premiership, as the referee, Nick Walsh, prepares to get things underway. Celtic will kick off, but the coin toss, obviously a miscommunication there. It's actually been won by Rangers by the looks of things, so it's the visitors. Matt O'Reilly gives the ball to Todd Cantwell, and Rangers in their blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops, kick off, shooting from right to left towards the Jockstein stand. Celtic in the green and white hoops, of course, as the long ball for Rangers pops out to Abdallah Sima on the near side, bounces off him and out for a throw into Celtic to be taken by Alistair Johnston down on this near side. Nick Walsh taking charge of his 3rd Rangers-Celtic game as that chip ball comes through to McCausland. He can't quite get there, and it's right through to Joe Hart, who bowls it out to Greg Taylor over on the left. Willie Collum is the video assistant on duty for this one, as Taylor comes ploughing down that left-hand side touchline, midway inside the Rangers half, and there's an early foul by Connor Goldson on Kyogo, just about 6 or 7 yards from the north stand side touchline. Free kick taken quickly by McGregor to Kyogo at the edge of the box, rolls it into the area where it's blocked and cleared by John Lundstrom. Across halfway, Desser's giving Scales a hard time, but Scales holds him off, does well, and squares it to Welsh. Liam Scales, who was outstanding in that game at Ibrox at the start of the campaign, as that comes off Tavernier's head and out for a Celtic throw-in over on the far side.
It was a good start from there also. He was up against Dessers, he let the ball bounce, but he was able to hold him off and chose a little bit of composure and get the pass away to Stephen Walsh's partner. And big day for both of them young men. And I would say Rangers will probably go a little bit more direct up to Dessers to test him out early on.
Celtic have won their last couple after the back-to-back league defeats, the Kilmarnock and Hearts, beating Livingston and Dundee in their last 2, and we know that Philippe Clement is unbeaten as Rangers manager in his 16 games in charge, and only the club's first manager, Willie Wilton, and Alec McLeish made better starts to their Rangers tenures than Clement, and he can equal McLeish today if he escapes Celtic Park without defeat. Celtic have it over on the far side with Taylor into the midfield for O'Reilly. It's given away though by McGregor out on the right, and it is a foul, and Dujon Sterling, says the linesman who frantically waves his flag over on that far side. and Rangers have a free kick right over, bang on the touchline, about level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box. And this, Billy Dodd's a first chance for James Tavernier to test that Celtic defence.
Yeah, you'd be hoping to win a good delivery. It was really good from Sterling again. I mean, it was popped up to the left back area. I think it was headed out by Taylor. He was first on it to get this free kick.
It's Tavernier and Yilmaz who stand over it. Tavernier with the right foot will bend this in though into the penalty area. It's a poor one though, headed away by Kyogo. It's to the left of the penalty spot. Tavernier picks up the scraps and finds Sterling, who finds John Lundstrom fit to play today. Rolls it along the deck to Balogun. Looked like O'Reilly had a little pull of his shirt there. Rangers still have it though. Tavernier. Long switch of play out to this left-hand side for Sima. Being challenged by Johnston. He slips and he goes out for a throw-in to Celtic on this near side. It is going to be a greasy surface because of the amount of water and snow that has hit it, not just this morning, but can't remember the last time it didn't rain in the southwest of Scotland, as Alistair Johnston picks up the throw-in level with his own 18-yard line on the main stand side, flicked back towards the Celtic box by Sterling, then knocked out of play by Celtic for a Rangers throw-in, which will be taken by Ridvan Yilmaz. 3 goalless minutes in here, and it's Yilmaz back to Lundstrom under pressure from Maida, turns it back along the deck to Goldson midway inside his own half. Another who was past fit to play today. Crucial he was for Rangers as he pings it long. He's found Tavernier, who volleys the cross, or attempted cross, towards Joe Hart's goal, and it goes the wrong side of the post, and it will stay Celtic 0, Rangers 0, almost on 4.
Rangers have started well, Liam. Got a grip in the game, winning balls in midfield, as we see there. Lundstrom getting back to Rob McGregor. Showed composure on the ball as well. I thought after the huddle, the Celtic huddle, walk on being sung, and then the frantic start would come, that Rangers might just sit nice and compact, but they haven't done that. They've got the ball down, won their seconds, got the ball down and made basic passes, but ones that are effective.
They've got an excellent defensive record, Rangers, under the Belgian, barely conceding goals domestically. Just the 4 have gone in against them since he took over. It's 2 balls on the pitch just now, so the referee spotted that. It'll be cleared by Leon Balogun with the right foot down the right hand side, but it goes straight to McGregor, who hoists it forward. Kyogo's in behind Goldson, takes a touch in the chest, left hand side of the box, tight angle now, and he forces the save at the near post from Butland. Celtic corner. He did have Maida bursting a gut to get up in support, and he just saw that angle get tighter and tighter, Packy, but he still forced the save.
Yeah, it was important that he did get it on target, but he was an acute angle. It was a good run in behind, and that's the danger for Rangers. We've seen it before with Kyogo getting into those areas.
In comes the corner directly into the 6-yard area, up into the air from Goldson, more height than clearance. O'Reilly flicks it back towards goal. Kyogo's facing away from goal, and his touch goes straight to Cantwell, who picks up on this near side, taking on Kyogo, driving in the line. He's done well, Todd Cantwell. Heavy touch though, allows McGregor to make the challenge, and the loose ball breaks to John Lundstrom, who finds Dujon Sterling, who's been a bit of a revelation in the midfield for Rangers, primarily a full-back, but he's been good in there. He started the League Cup final in there as well a couple of weekends ago, as Lundstrom switches it out to Ridvan Yilmaz on this left-hand side. Poor touch straight to O'Reilly. He'll slip it forward to Maida. Balogun makes the challenge. O'Reilly knocks it forward towards the Rangers box. Comes harmlessly through to Jack Butland. 6 played, Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, Yilmaz getting forward here on the left-hand side. A switch of play. Alistair Johnston went very, very quick. If Yilmaz had to get it under control properly, and he would have slipped Sima in down the left-hand side. Johnston just ran and left Sima, and he was in acres of space.
It's back with Goldson. Long right-footed ball forward is off target this time. Tavernier with the station of the attempted ball, but it's gone out for a... It's now Rangers in possession here, with Goldson just playing it short to Lundstrom. Flicks with the outside of the boot for Sima, left of the centre circle. It's going to break out to Luis Palma, who's barely touched the ball in the early stages of the game. Celtic giving it away. It's now with Todd Cantwell under pressure from Bernardo. Rolls it out to the right-hand side for Tavernier. Tavernier's low ball, McCausland, right-hand side of the box, chance to play it across, saved by Hart, breaks back to Dessers, rolls it to Cantwell, takes a touch, shoots with the left, it's blocked, and then cleared eventually by Alistair Johnston, out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Outstanding winger play by Ross McCausland there.
Yeah, but a brilliant from Cantwell as well to roll it wide to Tavernier, who found McCausland, and he was so direct, cut it back, and it eventually fell to Tavernier, to Cantwell, who just dummied his man and tried to get a shot away. It was blocked. It was a brilliant move from Rangers, really was.
It looked like it opened up perfectly for them there as Lundstrom claims there's a free kick, and he's going to get one as well, much to the annoyance of the Celtic supporters. This is about level the 18-yard line. I don't think the Celtic fans are particularly enjoying the amount of possession Rangers are getting here in these early stages.
No, they've dominated the game so far.
Yilmaz with the cross, way too deep though. Tavernier will give chase. Palma's the covering player for Celtic. Tavernier level with the penalty spot. Plays it back into the midfield looking for Lundstrom. It's a poor ball, it's one back though for Celtic by O'Reilly, slips it forward to McGregor. Kyogo and Maida ahead of him. McGregor will turn it out to Maida, wide on the right hand side, up against Yilmaz. Just bobbles between his feet and breaks kindly for Yilmaz, who's able to knock it clear out to this near side. Dessers volleys it up towards halfway as Welsh goes long, but that's going to come right through to Jack Butland. It's goalless here, just 8 minutes on the clock, but already a little bit of unrest around us.
Yeah, disappointing for Maeda there. You know, you can see then his reaction afterwards. He almost stopped because he was so frustrated with himself more than anything else. It was a really bad touch, and he was in a great position.
There's McCausland getting the break of the ball against McGregor, wide on the right hand side, forward to Cantwell. He tried to lay it back to McCausland. He only lays it back to the Celtic skipper, and it's McGregor out to Maida on this near side. Across the halfway line he goes. He's playing it short back to Johnston, and then back to Welsh, who's in for the injured Cameron Carter-Vickers today. Scales collects in the left and knocks it forward along the grass again, and it's O'Reilly out to Palma on the left hand side. O'Reilly crosses in, breaks to Maida. It's a heavy touch, allows Sterling to make the challenge, and Rangers get it away. Here's Johnston to McGregor. Celtic come again. Greg Taylor in the left central area, out to the touchline for Palma. His first real chance to run at Tavernier here into the penalty area, drops the shoulder, pulls the ball across, and it's headed away on the 6-yard line by Goldson, and it pops out to that left hand side. Taylor manages to get onto it ahead of McCausland, rolls it back to McGregor. McGregor square ball for Johnston. Johnston then to Welsh. Celtic are moving it around pretty nicely at the moment. Welsh with the cross ball. Tavernier puts it behind for the corner. He was spooked. Lewis Palma was in behind him. Celtic have their second corner of the piece.
Yeah, it was a really good ball in from Welsh, and that he's expecting somebody on that left-hand side to get in on the end of it, and that's where Bernardo should have been, picking up a position where he can get in round the back and get his head on that ball, but he didn't.
Palma takes the corner. It's another poor one. It's away by Yilmaz, but it breaks back to Palma from the Yilmaz header. Palma uses the outside of the boot, punched away by Butland, flicked clear by Lundstrom. Picked up by Greg Taylor, rolls it to the right angle of the box for O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to shake off Sima, looks up left foot, delicate chip ball to the left hand side of the box. Palma couldn't quite get it under control, and Yilmaz pokes it away from him, and Bernardo picks up the scraps wide in the left. It's now with Scales, forward to Palma, first time to Taylor, to Palma again, skewed pressure this from the champions. Chip ball into the box, diving header away by Balogun. Cantwell robbed by McGregor in the midfield, and it's back with Welsh. He finds Taylor, looks up, left-footed ball out to the left-hand side for Palma. It's an excellent pass. Palma has it by the corner flag, looks up at the box, crosses in, the header just wide. Paulo Bernardo has his head in his hands. Big chance for him. Got his first for the club at Dens the other day. He's off target, just flies past the right-hand reverse post. And on 11 minutes it stays Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, how many times we've seen Maeda sliding into the back post and never doesn't get there on many occasions. He wasn't far away, was he? He wasn't far away, no.
I mean, that all started for Celtic. That phase of play for the last couple of minutes started from Celtic showing a bit of composure, Liam, making a few passes, and then they just build up a couple of opportunities, good balls in the box, the momentum. And I'll tell you, it wasn't far away. They lose the first header, Rangers, and then Maeda, as Pat said, just sliding into that back area, just can't get on it to get it over the line.
It's a foul there on Connor Goldson.
I think the first header actually from the cross should have been hitting the target.
Yeah, he got himself free.
I'm not sure if it was O'Reilly or Bernardo at that moment in time, but getting in, really, I think he made contact with the ball almost about 7 yards out, almost in the middle of the goal, and it came off the side of his head.
They're very difficult to distinguish the two, O'Reilly and Bernardo, because the black numbers on the green and white hoops isn't particularly great to see from where we are here, but they've both got the gloves on, they've both got the socks rolled down to their ankles.
Hairstyle,
yes,
very similar. Anything to get us off with it.
Yeah, I thought it was Bernardo's header, and that's been confirmed. As he goes down just to the left of the centre circle. It's Rangers who have it back with John Lundstrom. Rolls it along the deck out to Yilmaz on the near side. Lovely shimmy away from guys in Maida, and it's Yilmaz rolling it behind Dessers, and that works out for Greg Taylor, who has it back for Celtic at the edge of his box. Plays it out to the near side for Johnston, who'll win the throw-in off Ridvan Yilmaz.
Well, with the good news from that cross, if it was Bernardo, which you've confirmed, at least he's getting into the box. He's getting into the area that I've said before the game that he should be getting into.
And that one there for Rangers, brilliant from Yilmaz, gets inside his man. I think Dessers just got to plant, because he's got to make a wall, because Yilmaz is still under pressure. He can't get the head up, so if he just stands, but he's trying to run in behind the defender. I don't know why on that occasion.
Bernardo, lovely skill to get away from Cantwell, rolls it to O'Reilly in a central position as Greg Taylor. Taylor then trying to usher it out to the wide left for Palma, but it's well read by Tavernier. The ball forward towards McCausland. The Scales slides in on the challenge on Ross McCausland, making his first start in this fixture. He's certainly not looked out of place since making his big breakthrough under the current Rangers manager. As Goldson picks it up on that right-hand side. And a good spell for Celtic, though, you would have to say, and that long ball from Goldson gives it straight back to the home team.
Yeah, it was a good start from Rangers initially, but Celtic coming back into the game now, forcing Rangers back around the edge of their box. Decent control, getting to that first ball, and even the second phase ball, when it comes back out, they won it back and keeping control of it.
Hart playing it short to Welsh at the edge of his box, and he goes back to his goalkeeper. Two former England internationals in goal this afternoon. And the two teams, Scales under pressure from Dessers, rolls it back to his goalkeeper. Hart taking his time over this. And I think under the previous manager here, I think the supporters got so used to the dead balls being played really quickly, and it's not been the case this season. That's been given away. Celtic on the right hand side of the box. Sterling rolls it back. Dessers on the turn, rolls it to Cantwell. Little side footed goal, which is weak, and it's cleared by Johnston. It was really loose play by Celtic that time over on that far side. They get away with it though, and it's all the way back with Jack Butland under pressure from Kyogo. He finds Balogun. He wanted too long on it. Maida's challenge, but it bounces right back to Butland. Celtic 0, Rangers 0 on 15. Nervy little bit of play by Leon Balogun there. He's fortunate.
Yeah, he's very fortunate. He got away with it actually, because when Maida came in and he blocked it and went straight back to Jack Butland, it could have went anywhere and he was in trouble.
Here's Callum McGregor. Maida just on the line, as was Kyogo. It's now though with Johnston on this near side. Alistair Johnston in field to O'Reilly. Celtic start of the season. Kyogo lays it back the way. Taylor's popped up just outside the box. Finds Kyogo. There's Rangers' feet snapping at him there, and McCausland emerges with it as Rangers defend it well. Tavernier, first time ball out wide right for McCausland, attacking the halfway line. Ball forward to Cantwell. It's 3-on-3 here. Cantwell, the edge of the penalty area, a little step over, looks to roll it out wide. There's nobody in blue and white there, and it's just going to go behind harmlessly for the goal kick. I think Stephen Welsh did enough to put Todd Cantwell off there. He put him under a bit of pressure, but he's taken a sore one, perhaps to the top of one of his feet there in the process. 16 in, Celtic 0, Rangers 0 here on Sportsound.
It's some game. It's end to end so far. I mean, Rangers started the better team, and then Celtic have come right back into it. Rangers' last two attacks, that one there, Cantwell gets caught under his feet. If he could just get the head up and reverse it. Dessers is in 1-on-1. Rolls reversed a few minutes ago when Dessers had it, couldn't get out his feet, and then he had a pass on it where I put a Rangers player through, and then Celtic down the other end with Maeda nearly robbing Balogun. It's incredible so far. Some tempo.
Long ball, Lundstrom from a free kick after a foul on Sterling. Seema takes it down well. He's away from Johnston, who chops him down at the left angle of the penalty area. Yellow card for the Canada international as well. And Rangers have a free kick on the left-hand side of the Celtic box.
Oh, it was a great bit of skill from Seema. Diagonal ball. He took it out of the air first touch and beat Johnson all hands up, and he really had to take him down because he was driving into the penalty box on a 1v1 situation. So it was kind of almost like a professional foul, but it's a great position here for Rangers on the left-hand side, just outside the corner of the box, about 2 yards.
You just got to miss this first man, Tavernier, and aim for that far post. And if he does that, if he gets maybe over Kyogo, he's the first man, that in-swing or anything could happen.
Yeah, keepers hate this, don't they? It's one of those where it might find its way into the net without even taking a touch. The uncertainty of the number of players in front of him. Joe Hart, as he stands in the centre point of his goal. Yilmaz and Tavernier over it. I can only imagine that James Tavernier's the man to take this. Nick Walsh isn't happy with the Celtic wall not being far enough back. McGregor and Maida, two-man wall. Here's Tavernier with it, bends it in, and he doesn't get it past Kyogo. Dodgy was talking about that. Here's Lundstrom knocking it into the Celtic box. Balogun can't control. Scales clears. Here's John Lundstrom, 17, almost 18 goalless minutes in. The second derby between these two this season. Celtic won the first. They've come off the rails a little bit recently, despite winning their last two. They win this one and they move things back into their own hands.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that's 2 free kicks now. One wide on the right-hand side, one in the closer in on the left-hand side that Tavernier had, and he didn't beat the first man.
Delicate chip ball forward by Johnston. Maida's headed into the Rangers box, easily cleared by Balogun. Lundstrom picks it up under pressure, back to Yilmaz. He dumps it into the midfield, but it's given away by Sima, and that's lovely play by Callum McGregor. He plays it back to Bernardo, to the left for Taylor, out wide left for Palma, level with the Rangers penalty spot, up against Sterling. It's through the legs of Sterling, but his pass goes straight to Goldson, who knocks it clear first time, up towards halfway, where Dessers is battling for it with Scales, wins the throw-in, takes it quickly himself, does the Rangers number 9. Cantwell to Sterling in the centre circle. He's got McCausland making a run ahead of him if he can find him. Johnston's under pressure here, having been booked. He gets there though, does Johnston. He goes back to Joe Hart, who clears. And as far as Lundstrom. It's a little delicate high ball for Cantwell, who finds Sima, and then now when McCausland rolls it back to the edge of the box, Sima with the shot, and it's wild, it's wide, and it's Celtic 0, Rangers 0 on 19.5.
It's good play again out the left, and Sima just bouncing off McCausland. McCausland taking a touch, showing composure in the box, can't be touched, little back heel, sets up Sima, and you're thinking with this surface, just strike it along the ground, it'll gather pace, but just leans back and the ball's over. It's a good opportunity for Rangers, good play again.
It's probably one of the 3 Rangers players to have starred for them this season. Abdallah Sima, Jack Butland and James Tavernier would be the other 2, you would think. As Palma finds Taylor, Lundstrom tries to pinch it back, and it's out of play for a Celtic throw-in over on the far side.
I think Lundstrom has been incredible so far, and Sterling. I watched Tavernier was caught in midfield, Sterling filled right back. As soon as a centre half has to go tight with Kyogo and maybe up the park a little bit, Lundstrom filling in, they've been sensational.
Yeah, here's O'Reilly. Maida, he's inside the box, gets to the byline, pulls it across, no touch! Kyogo must have been a centimetre or 2 away, but the flag's gone up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But that's more like it from Dyson Maida.
It's gone up, I think, probably against Maeda, was it? And the fact that he was the opposite side of Yilmaz, and I'm saying, wow, that's pure defending, but obviously he's gone into an offside position, and that's why he's been called off. But that's what he's got to do. He's got to mix his game up instead of coming to the ball all the time, running behind and get that ball, because he's got the pace on Yilmaz, and that.
It is 0-0 here, Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland across the frequencies, on digital radio, on line at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. All the 3 o'clock action to come, and there's loads of it later on. The supporters of the other clubs who don't care what's happening here and what the outcome will be when they go to watch their games. 4 in the Premiership: Aberdeen, St Mirren, Hearts, Ross County, Kilmarnock, Dundee, Motherwell, Livingston. Plus all the action across the divisions. Open all mics from 3. Here's Stephen Welsh for Celtic inside his own box, plays it short to Johnston, stepping away from Lundstrom, and then riding the challenge of Sterling. Good play. Johnston down the right hand side, low ball. Maida tried to get it in behind Yilmaz, who's going to try and shepherd it behind for the goal kick, which the Turk does successfully, and it stays Celtic 0, Rangers 0, knocking in the end of the first quarter. of this match.
You got to say, good defending from Yilmaz there.
Absolutely.
He didn't commit himself to the first pass and just kept himself goal side, and then he had the run on Maeda in that occasion and defended very, very well.
I've been watching them when I was talking to yourselves at the start of the programme with Leanne and Tom, and the Rangers back four, they're pretty solid.
Here's Celtic now, the edge of the penalty area. There's a shot for goal! It's just wide! Bernardo ripples the side net. There were many inside the stadium thought that was on point. Butland dived, didn't have to make the save in the end. It's a fabulous strike by Bernardo, but he's off target, and it stays Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
I would say it was actually a shot that he should have been hit the target with. Like, he's in a brilliant position on his right foot, and nobody almost in a space, and he just had to open up and just get his shot, concentrate on hitting the target. Instead, he knocked it. It was a good strike, you could say, from a point of view of intensity, but definitely knocked it wide when he should have been hitting that target, Billy.
It was sloppy from Rangers giving it away, and then he picks up a good area. You're right, he should be hitting target a bit like Seema a few minutes ago, because I was touching in the shape of Rangers. They couldn't get that shape. I've been watching them closely. They are a back four, don't get me wrong, they've been getting forward, but it's one full back forward at a time.
Bernardo with a chip ball into the box is cleared by Rangers. It breaks out to Palma wide on the left, level with the Rangers 18. Back to Taylor. Taylor looking for an option in green and white ahead of him. Elects to roll it short to Bernardo. He's got Rio Hatate on the bench breathing down his neck now for that midfield spot. Chip ball into the area again. Palma, it's a little bit of pinball, breaks to Lundstrom, who goes back to his keeper, and Butland fires it forward first time with the right foot, flicked on by Dessers into the Celtic half, comes right through to Welsh, and he rolls it all the way back to his goalkeeper. 0-0 at Celtic Park. Celtic enjoying a good spell in the game here, you have to say. Can they make their dominance count? They have it with Bernardo wide on the left, got it from Palma. Bernardo facing the north stand, turns back infield, finds Callum McGregor with the pass. Midway inside Rangers territory. McGregor out to Maeda at the right angle of the box. Side foot back to McGregor, who squares it to Taylor, who will then turn it out to the left-hand side for Palma. Palma against Tavernier, skips into the penalty area, rolls it to Taylor on the 18-yard line. He shoots over the bar, but it's taken a deflection, and Celtic have their third corner of the derby, 24 in, 0-0.
Yeah, Celtic's into their tempo now. They're passing the ball with a little bit of pace and getting their accuracy in, switching it from right to left and getting those wide guys into the game.
And Celtic give it the chances, 3 opportunities. Bernardo's header perhaps the best of them. Kyogo tested Butland, Bernardo shot wide as Palma looks to take the corner, outswinger with the right foot, in it comes fighting through, goal! Paulo Bernardo lights up the derby with a magnificent strike from the edge of the area. Rangers didn't defend the corner, and when it broke to the Portuguese on 18 yards, he lets fly and smashes it past Butland. That could be a massive goal for the champions in what's been a relatively troubled season for them. It is Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, it comes from the corner, it's whipped into that near post. Rangers didn't deal with it properly, they didn't clear their lines properly. When it comes to Bernardo on the edge, just inside the edge of the box, he hits it with that right foot on the volley. This time he does hit the target, and the goalkeeper had no chance. Flew him by him into the left-hand side to give Celtic that precious lead.
That's some strike, isn't it? There's no doubt. He had a little go at him before for hitting the side net a few moments ago, but once it's come in and it's not dealt with, I think it might have been Sterling on that front post, and he just flicks into an area, but he still gets so much to do, and he just gets the boot over it, and he connects with it brilliantly. It's like a laser-like finish right into the far corner to put Celtic ahead.
It's a magnificent goal. It's his second for the club. He got his first the other day in Dundee. I believe he's been yellow carded in the wake of the celebrations, as well as the Celtic players all went over to that safe standing section over on the far side. And it is a magnificent goal, and it's one he's been threatening in the game. Packies and a couple of nibbles at Jack Butland's goal this time.
Yeah, and I think
he hits the target.
He's growing in confidence. Obviously, he knows now where the goal is. He's getting himself into decent positions. He had that shot initially, hit the header that he probably should have hit both, should have hit the target. But this time he made made it and had an unbelievable strike into the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, Rangers, they've had a couple of adverse moments under Philippe Clement in league games. They were 1-0 down late on against Hearts at Ibrox, turned it round to win 2-1. They were 1-0 down to Aberdeen. They got that late penalty, which James Tavernier converted to get a draw. But generally, the team that scores first in these games has to be a winner. It is they who go on to win it.
Yeah, well, Rangers now, they've got to keep their nerve a little bit, haven't they, Billy, and just get over this period.
Here's a cross, Maida almost got onto it, and Tavernier is forced to put it behind for a corner. Celtic smell blood here. 27.5 played, they lead 1-0.
Yeah, they're just controlling the game now. Rangers started well, but Celtic have taken a grip of it, created chance after chance, and then got the breakthrough as well, and then forced that corner. Tavernier having to put it there.
Palma with it, bends it in, it's poor though, beats everyone and sails behind the other side of the goal frame, and that will be a goal kick. Yeah, the team that scores first has only lost this fixture 4 times out of the last 45 meetings. It did happen a couple of times 2 seasons ago, including a Scottish Cup semi-final, and Greg Taylor gave Celtic the lead. Rangers went on to win it, but generally speaking, it is the team that scores first that emerges with points. What a big goal that could be. Could be massive.
I think the reason Celtic have taken control, I think Cantwell's got to get himself closer to McGregor. I think he's dictating the play now, and he's come off him a lot, and then you see Celtic making those few passes I was talking about, but McGregor then receiving it and just spraying it about, and it's a big one. That Cantwell must get closer to him defensively.
Yeah, when McGregor plays well, Celtic generally play well. He is the metronome of this Celtic side. Yeah. And the armband's certainly not too heavy a weight on Callum McGregor's shoulders, that's for sure.
Well, they've got the 3 players. They've got Cantwell, they've got Dessers, they've got 4 players. In fact, they could maybe press Celtic a little bit better, but Celtic are easily getting themselves out, building the game from the back through midfield.
John Sterling picks up wide in the right of the centre circle. He's got Tavernier bombing forward, but he elects to switch the play. It's a wonderful ball out to the left for Yilmaz. An early cross into the box, looking for Sima, headed away by Welsh. Tavernier takes it down and finds Cantwell. Back to Sterling, right hand side of the box. McCausland level with the penalty spot, gets the cross ball in. There's too much on it for Sima though, who, to be fair, was being well marshalled by Alistair Johnston, and it sails behind for a goal kick, which Hart takes quickly to Johnston. Slide challenge Sima, and out for a Celtic throw. Celtic 1-0 up here as we approach the half hour.
Although Celtic have dominated after the first 10 minutes or so, Rangers have got themselves into good areas, good situations, but not really executed it very well. We've talked about Sima McCausland with the 1-2, Sima getting in a good area, good play early on when it went forward to Tavernier, and then McCausland blasted across. Cantwell's effort, really good areas in that one again, just the cross, and no Rangers player could go on to end it, but Celtic really have been the dominant force after the first 10.
They really have. This is their best performance in quite a while, and they've got a throw in over on the far side, level with the Rangers penalty spot in front of the north stand. Taylor over it.
Yeah, I think the game's dictating the tempo, and it suits Celtic. You know, I mean, Celtic are playing with tempo, but the game itself has got a good tempo to it. There is space. Brendan talked about it before. The game, Rangers will, they won't sit back as teams normally do here. They'll come out, so there will be space that they can exploit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, when the other teams come here, and you can understand it given the ginormous budgetary difference, why they would come here and sit in. We saw David Martindale's Livingston do that last week. They ended up on the receiving end of a 2-0 defeat, and really Hearts defended brilliantly. Only one here is Tavernier. Well, he's sliced it out for a throw-in on the far side, much to the delight and glee of the Celtic supporters. And Hearts were so comfortable here a couple of weekends back, but this is much more like the Celtic that we are used to seeing. They're 1-0 up, looking to increase the gap at the top to 8 points, and that would mean that even if Rangers were to win their games in hand, Celtic would remain at the top. That's how big the difference could be, even at this stage of the season, just before the turn of the year. thrown into the Rangers box. Breaks to the goal scorer, Bernardo. Now Taylor, back to Kyogo, round and left of the penalty spot. Still alive, Tavernier with a desperate challenge to get it away from Matt O'Reilly. And the long clearance goes deep into the Celtic half, where Welsh has been put under pressure, but he reacts to the pressure from Dessers brilliantly and manages to find Scales. Philippe Clement down there, he's not happy, he's punching fresh air in frustration. Johnston's given it away though. Welsh in the slide, can't get there. Dessers is in, left hand side, Dessers in on Hart, and then he runs it straight through to Joe Hart. Johnston with a really important intervention in defence, but Cyril Dessers has to get the shot away sooner.
I think Stephen Welch is in trouble here. I think he's done his shoulder. I think his shoulder's gone out.
Well, we'll get to that, Packy. Cyril Dessers is one-on-one with Joe Hart.
What I'm thinking is, how long do you want, son? I mean, he's actually slowed up as well. He just obviously thinks Johnson's out of the game. It's his pass, it's intercepted. He does brilliantly to intercept, and then but he's got to show more drive and speed over the first 10-15 yards, but then he slows, and I'm thinking, you better get your shot away quickly or square it. I think it was Cantwell that was in there. He does neither, and it's an easy tackle in the end for Johnson. Great recovery from him, but a serious let-off for Celtic. It really was. Dessers has got to do things much, much quicker.
Yeah, and as Packy was saying, Welsh, when he went in to try and rescue the situation, he's ended up hurting himself as Dessers got away from him.
I think his shoulder's gone out, and that'll be obviously Nawrocki's on the bench. He would probably come into the position.
They've got Mike Nawrocki, haven't they? He's back.
Yeah.
And Kerdine is our pitch side reporter. Let's find out if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, Mike Nawrocki is away warming up. Actually, he's just back in front of me tying up his boots as Stephen Welsh holds his left shoulder. It looks like Celtic will be preparing to make that substitution. He's getting some instructions here from Gavin Strachan, is Nawrocki. It's a while since he played for Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a big test for him. But Alistair Johnston there, he should have been sliding that ball down for Maeda. Just play it in behind when you're under pressure. He ends up coming back and is in place, almost like a disguised pass back into an area where he didn't even know who was there. And that's what caused the problem for Celtic. It was a great chance for Rangers, to get back into this game. Dessers, that'll do, though it won't help his confidence, Billy.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, the one thing you'd expect him to do there was save a shot, save an effort, but I'm thinking, listen, he obviously thought, I've got an eternity of time, I'll just take my time, then I'll try and bend it the far corner. He didn't even look across for the cutback, but my word, how long do you want?
Yeah, well, how unfortunate is that for Stephen Welch? He's just back into the team, got an opportunity, and has been doing very well and up against Dessers himself and Liam Scales. And his shoulder's obviously gone out, and that's a sore one for any young man. But now is a big challenge here for Nawrocki to go in. Hasn't played for quite a while, and he'll have to. There's no hiding place against Rangers. You've got to go in and make your decisions properly.
Nawrocki coming on for Welsh. It's not the first time this has happened to Stephen Welsh this season. Mike Nawrocki comes on. He signed a 5-year deal, was on about £4.5 million. I think Celtic spent to bring him here. Former Werder Bremen player, actually born in Germany and Polish national. His last appearance was the League Cup defeat at Kilmarnock in August. And the reason Liam Scales is in such a run in the team is because of that injury. Nawrocki gives it straight to Dessers, but it bounces off him now. McGregor out to Greg Taylor on the left-hand side. But in the final 10 minutes of the 45, Celtic 1, Rangers 0. Cyril Dessers, if he's not able to help his team out today, if Rangers can't come into this, he's going to be reliving that all night. Celtic have it with O'Reilly. Over on the left-hand side, the ball in towards Kyogo's knocked away by Goldson. Maeda will pick up the scraps, right-hand side of the penalty area. Challenged by Yilmaz, forced back the way to McGregor. And then slip it into the centre circle for Scales. Steps away from Dessers. Knocking it forward, but it's a poor pass, gives it straight to Tavernier. Tavernier out to Dessers. The kind of encouragement that Celtic don't want to be giving Rangers. With a 1-0 lead, Scales giving it away. Here's Tavernier. His pass is poor though. And O'Reilly picks up and finds Bernardo, the goal scorer. Long ball looking for Maeda on this right-hand side. He's going to skip away from him though, and out for a throw-in to the visitors on this near side. Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, listen, this game is not over by any means. It's a good game. I've enjoyed the first half. It's gone by very, very quickly. Obviously, Celtic getting their nose in front, but Rangers are always a threat in this game so far.
Headed away by Scales, out for a Rangers throw-in. A few yards inside the Celtic half over on the right. Tavernier to Lundstrom, back to Tavernier, back to Lundstrom, and back into his own half for Sterling. It goes back to Goldson, and he will go back to his keeper. And Butland has a look up at the pitch ahead of him, launches it forward with the left foot. It's going to come all the way through. McCausland's not giving up on it. The Celtic defence stopped. McCausland's on it. Chance! Blocked by Hart, and a combination of he and a defender. And Greg Taylor clears. Tavernier picks it up. Cantwell shoots, and it's saved. A low effort by Hart. But again, that's of Celtic's own making. They were statuesque at the back. McCausland was the only one to react and play on. And he was very nearly in to equalise. It stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Well, it was a ball that everybody thought was going to run through to the goalkeeper, but I don't know whether it held up a little bit. But McCausland definitely didn't give it up. Greg Taylor should have been falling. Liam Scales also.
The Rangers manager's been booked as well. He's having a go at the fourth official, Kevin Clancy, down there. Is Philippe Clermont. I'm not sure what he's upset about. But that's a chance again.
I think Taylor thinks Joe Hart's coming, and then Joe Hart stops, just retreats, and it leaves McCausland 1-1. And again, I thought, go on, just bust through and get a real effort goal, but he kind of slowed. Don't get me wrong, he got the effort away, but by that time Taylor was tucked round and Hart maybe get something on it, and the chance was gone. Then it comes to Cantwell, and he has a shot as well. Pat, you touched on it. Rangers not out it. Celtic dominated, but Rangers creating chances.
It's a foul by Dessers and Scales. Celtic again a little bit too frantic at the back. You'd have to say, I know they like to play it short, but sometimes, just given the situation that had just happened, 2 opportunities for Rangers, sometimes just to take the sting out of the situation, perhaps playing it short in that case was not the right option. And now it's been given away by Nawrocki. Here's Lundstrom driving forward down the left. O'Reilly covering, back to Cantwell. Cantwell shuffles away from Maida and then from McGregor. He's facing his own goal though, and he rolls it back to Balogun. And now Goldson. It's 2 saves for Joe Hart to make finally. It's the first real action that he's had. You'll feel he probably was going to have to make a save from Dessers as well before that. As Cantwell finds Balogun, pirouettes away from Maida on this near side. Looks up at the Celtic Park pitch, huge pitch here, and Balogun's been caught by O'Reilly. Rangers will play on with Seaman. It's a lovely challenge by Nawrocki, but it is at the expense of a Rangers corner. Balogun is the latest centre-back to be down, perhaps requiring attention.
Yeah, the referee let play go on there. It could have been a foul here, just in front of us, just in front of the dugout.
Yeah, O'Reilly's been booked.
Yeah, Balogun caught late, but the referee let it go, and Nawrocki had to make that tackle. He went to ground. If he didn't make that on Sima, that Sima was in, so he went to ground, but you've got to give credit to him. Really good tackle.
To introduce yourself to the game, he just gave the ball away. That was his first touch, and then second touch is a brilliantly timed tackle.
But it has resulted in this set piece opportunity for Rangers. So Lawrence Shanklin score from a similar situation here a couple of weeks ago when he met the corner at the back post. Todd Cantwell will take from this main stand side. In swinger with the right foot into the box it comes. Diving header almost away there by Johnston. Didn't quite fly down towards the ground, but he was able to get it clear as he stooped really low. And Rangers can't keep it in play on this near side. That will be a Celtic throw-in. Brendan Rodgers moved to applaud his players down there with his hands in his pockets now. The Celtic manager Philippe Clermont has been much more animated to his right, and we're in the final 5 minutes of the opening 45 here with Celtic leading this derby match by a 1-0. That was the case at full time at Ibrox back in the early autumn, as Lundstrom picks up the ball in the midfield, slips it out to McCausland on the far side, up against Taylor. McCausland attacking the box, he shoots, Hart makes the save, and it's nicked away by Nawrocki with Cantwell waiting for the scraps. It's another chance for Ross McCausland, and Joe Hart forced to make the save again. 4 to the break. Rangers have it with Lundstrom. Chip ball into the box. Seema gives chase. Johnston elects to leave it, and it goes behind off Seema for a goal kick.
I tell you what, it was a good save. And it was really good play from McCausland. 1v1 up against Greg Taylor. He takes him on, gets his shot across Joe Hart, going into that side netting on his right hand side, and he gets down really long, gets a really good touch, got away with it. Obviously he couldn't hold it, and it just comes out and Celtic cleared, but a really good chance for Celtic. They can thank Joe Hart, for Rangers, and Celtic can thank Joe Hart.
Yeah, Billy, it's been a good little spell for Rangers, this.
Yeah, and Pat was the one that said that, I mean, they weren't out it, and of course when it's 1-0 you're not out
We're
it.
checking something here.
Just in terms of creating opportunities, and nearly took one there.
They're having a look at something here. Is it a possible penalty? Nick Walsh has halted proceedings. Yep, they're checking for a possible handball here. I don't know if the guys have had a chance to see a replay. I know Leanne's watching in the studio. Alistair Johnston, his hands in pockets, no penalty. Kerdine can talk us through it.
Yeah, it was against Alistair Johnston. Referee Nick Walsh has just waved play on. Seema was claiming for it. It did hit his hand. We've not seen enough in it to award the penalty. Play on.
Callum McGregor helping out Liam Scales on the far side. He's still on it. Cantwell trying to challenge the Celtic skipper over the north stand side, and then Greg Taylor gets involved. And it's going to be a free kick, I think, here to Celtic for the challenge by Cantwell and McGregor. And Greg Taylor saw fit to push Cantwell away from his captain.
Celtic are putting themselves at risk at the back. They're taking chances. I know they always will take chances, but the passes coming away from Joe Hart to the centre halves are almost putting them in trouble. You know, whether the centre halves aren't getting into the right position, whether he's passing it too quickly before they're in that position, but certainly is causing themselves their own problems.
It is they who have offered Rangers the encouragement. We're getting close to half-time. Celtic desperately hoping that they can take their lead in at the interval. Odds on to do that now. We're on 43.5 as Nawrocki knocks it forward to Maida. Outside of the boot, back to McGregor. The big switch, looking for Palma. Couldn't quite get over the head of Tavernier. His header will drop to Bernardo though. Knocks it back out to the far side touchline. Palma looking for Taylor. Brilliant play though by McCausland. Got back, did a good bit of defensive work there to help out his fullback and captain. And eventually it's off a Celtic head and out for a Rangers throw-in over on the far side. So 1 minute left plus stoppages.
I'll tell you, it's a great tempo to this game. It's going from end to end, and as I said, anything can happen within this game.
Balogun out to Yilmaz in the near side. It's the nutmeg and Maida and rolls it up the line to Seema. He goes to ground, fouled by Johnston. Already on a card, has to be careful. Lundstrom back to Goldson. Goldson squares it to Tavernier. And then McCausland infield to Sterling. Back to McCausland, first time he finds Lundstrom. Right of the centre circle, looking for Sterling. Cut out by McGregor though. He's been excellent in this first half. Celtic giving it away again though. Here's Ross McCausland coming in field, and he's been brought crashing to the ground by McGregor, and that's going to be a free kick to Rangers, level with the edge of the centre circle. And the Rangers coaching staff getting involved now with Kevin Clancy down there. I think they kind of feel Callum McGregor should have further punishment thrown down at him after that challenge.
I don't think so on that occasion. He kind of pulls out. It's just the surface of momentum takes him into McCausland. McCausland wins the ball, pops into midfield. It is a free kick because he catches him, but it's not intentional. It wasn't too much in it.
Free kick to Rangers. Tavernier will take over on the right of the centre circle. Yilmaz there as well though. But they've committed Balogun and Goldson forward for this. Connor Goldson scored a couple of goals here in a 2-0 win a few seasons ago as Tavernier floats the free kick in. Goldson wins the header. Was that a push? Yes it was. A push by Goldson and O'Reilly. And Celtic have a free kick inside their own box. They lead 1-0 heading to half-time.
I don't know what Joe Hart's rushing to take that. You've got 2 minutes to get into half-time. You're 1-0 up, and he just kicks the ball out of play. You know, just settle it down a little bit.
It's funny you see that because I'm watching Philip Clement and he's wanting him to stay up on it, get the game going again, and then Celtic just do exactly what he wants. And yeah, I could understand it was a time to just, Rangers have had a bit of pressure, just kill the game, see it through to half-time, let Brendan Rodgers have a word with him, but he chose to hit it quickly.
Into the second of the two. that were added. Balogun waiting too long. Maida with a challenge. Balogun reacts well though. He's been excellent in this first half. Celtic giving it away again though. Here's Ross McCausland coming in field, and finds Dujon Sterling, who finds Lundstrom, forward to Cantwell, spins away from McGregor and plays it short back to Balogun. Balogun along the deck to Lundstrom, who finds Goldson midway inside his own half. Goldson out to Tavernier. Scored his 100th goal here last season, scored 2 in a 3-2 defeat last time Rangers were here, as Palma picks up the scraps on the left, but it bounces off his heel, and it's Tavernier going back to his keeper. It's looking like 1-0 Celtic at the break. Long ball for Rangers, headed away by Scales. Sterling picks it up. Is there time for one last opportunity though for the visitors here? Sterling goes down, fouled by Callum McGregor. That's a free kick to Rangers over on that right hand side, and this is about level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box. So I'm saying it's looking like Celtic are going to go in at the break 1-0 up, but Rangers are going to get one last chance to throw it into the Celtic penalty area.
Yeah, I didn't see much in the foul. I must admit, he just kind of almost stuck his leg out and the ball went out for a throw-in, but it's a great chance for Rangers to put the pressure right on. We've seen a free kick, I think, from a similar position early in the game from Tavernier, and he hit the first man. He must have his eye in by this stage.
Third time lucky, isn't it? He's had the one in the right before this, one in the left, and then back to that same position you were talking about. Got to miss Kyogo, get the big players in there, and they'll have an opportunity.
We're almost into a 4th minute of stoppage time. 2 were added. Tavernier and Yilmaz over the free kick. The shrill whistles from the Celtic supporters. Yilmaz it is going to be this time, floats it into the area, headed away by Kyogo, breaks to McCausland, back to Cantwell, he shoots, it's deflected, the whistle had gone though as it ended up in the net, no goal, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0, and that will be the half-time score.
Yeah, again the free kick didn't pass the first man. Kyogo again getting his head in. He's not the biggest Kyogo either, and he's standing in that sort of almost front area. You've got to use him as a target to get it over his head.
As I've seen Tavernier be with delivery. You talked about at the start of the game with your defensive qualities, but he's so good going forward. But his 3 deliveries so far have been really tough.
Yilmaz.
Or was it? Sorry,
yeah, Yilmaz with that one. But yeah, again, it's equally poor as the half-time whistle goes here at Celtic Park, and it is the champions who lead the challengers by a 1-0, thanks to that outstanding powder keg shot from Paulo Bernardo at the edge of the box. Wonderful goal, and it's a goal fit for the big stage, that's for sure. It came in 26 minutes, came from a corner which everyone missed in the box. It brought back to the Portuguese midfielder, and he let fly to give Celtic the lead at the break. He had another couple of opportunities, one rippled the side net, a header which went just wide. Kyogo had an early effort from a tight angle, saved by Jack Butland. Rangers began to grow back into it, having started the game pretty well, looked pretty comfortable in the early stages to the League Cup winners. McCausland and Cantwell forcing saves out of Joe Hart, as McCausland did again just a few minutes later, and Celtic had to survive the VAR check for a possible handball in the box by Alistair Johnston, who's already been booked as well. But they got to the break with their lead intact as they look to go 8 clear at the summit of the Scottish Premiership. Half-time here in Glasgow is Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You would have to say so many talking points in that first half. Tom English and Leanne Crichton alongside me in the studio. Celtic with the advantage. Paulo Bernardo with a goal on 25 minutes. Tom, the first thing to say is it's been a terrific match to watch.
It has, yeah. It's been way more chances than I thought there'd be. I thought there'd be a bit of caginess, but it's not. I mean, it's hell for leather. Loads of chances, both sides, good chances. So it's been really entertaining.
Yeah, the key word I think that Pat used in commentary just towards the end of that half was tempo, Leanne. It's just all action. It's been a really fantastic watch.
It has, yeah, which is interesting because it looks like both sides, and we spoke about Rangers and their situation with regards to perhaps not needing to win the game, but actually when you look at it, I think both sides have went at it and are looking to win the game. They've created opportunities. Even when you look at the stats, Celtic 5 shots to Rangers' 7, both with 2 on target. 3 shots inside the box for Celtic, 5 for Rangers. There's been good final third entries. if anything, I think both managers will be looking at it and thinking it's slightly too transitional for their liking. I think there's been far too many turnovers. It's a bit scrappy, it's looked a bit nervy at certain points. Celtic looked to have a stranglehold on it for a good 10-15 minutes, then it swung. Rangers have got themselves back into the game, and by that I mean creating chances. They should have probably got themselves level. I think Cyril Dessers is the only player that's managed to get slower as he bears down in goal in the manner in which he did. Really poor decision making. Ross McCausland I thought looked really lively for Rangers on the right hand side. Bernardo before his goal just looked like he was a player that was desperate to get that goal. He had a couple of good opportunities, probably should have done better with at least one of them getting it on target. But no, as I say, both sides going at it, looking to win the game, just what we enjoy watching.
Talk to us then about that goal. It was a really nice strike, wasn't it?
It was. He catches it really, really well. I think if you look at it defensively, the flip side is it's poor from Rangers. The knockdown comes, I think, from Seema perhaps. It gets the header. They don't deal with it. But Bernardo, as I say, was in that frame of mind where he was really hungry looking, really aggressive, always on the front foot, and he gets his just rewards. He catches it sweet as a nut. And it's in the back of the net, and at that point you probably felt like Celtic were the team on the ascendancy, looked like they could get their noses in front, and if anything Brendan Rodgers will look at it and be frustrated that his side couldn't build on that advantage that they took, because the atmosphere in the stadium heightened. James Tavernier was put under a bit of pressure. You can see a couple of errors sneaking into the Rangers side as well, and that's the moment that you want to go, and Tom and I said it as well. Celtic look like they need a second goal, because Rangers are always in the game at 1-0.
They've had a lot of chances, Rangers. Celtic have looked fairly slack at the back today, Tom.
Well, yeah, as the half went on, Alistair Johnston, he's on a booking, he's having a fairly torrid time. He gives the ball away in the Dessers moment that he absolutely butchers Dessers. So McCausland has had a chance. Like, if Dessers had more composure and more confidence, he should have scored there. If McCausland just looks outside him and he sees Seema, they're probably going to score. That's two excellent chances. McCausland is having a good game again. He forces a good save out of Hart late on, and then the Alistair Johnston the penalty incident as well. So Bernardo had two really good chances before he scored. He had the glancing header went wide. He had the shot that went into the side netting. He should be hitting the target with both of them. But third time, well, not lucky, because it was a brilliant strike.
The guys have touched on it in commentary as well. The opportunities that Rangers have had, free kick wise, set piece wise, in Celtic's attacking half, and have been really poor.
Really?
That will disappoint Philip Clement, because Rangers set pieces in a game like this are absolutely massive, vital. We know how good Rangers can be with set pieces, particularly James Tavernier. I think it was Billy that said it's as poor as he's looked. That for Rangers again will be something that they'll look to try and improve on.
Right, you two have had a close look several times actually at that penalty incident towards the end of the half. Your take on it, Tom?
I think it should have been a penalty. Alistair Johnston, he kind of reaches out his right arm, I think just to in a kind of jostling match with Seema, isn't it? And his right hand catches the ball and he puts it out the dead ball line. He knocks it out with his hand in the penalty area. He doesn't mean to do it. He means to just kind of grappling a little bit with Seema. 50-50 there, no issue. But his hand makes contact with the ball and puts the ball out of play. For me, it's a penalty.
I'm going to go no penalty, simply because I don't think it's deliberate, which again you will look at. I don't think he's made his body unnaturally bigger. It's very clumsy, and I don't even think in the modern day game now it would be viewed that much different from the officials. But he gets his bearings all wrong, Alistair Johnston. What I think he goes to do is he just looks to get his arm across Seema and see the ball out of play, because he does lose the flight of the ball. But as I say, the officials will have looked at it, and for me, he's not deliberately handled it. And as I say, I don't think he's made his body unnaturally bigger.
Have you enjoyed that first half, Pat? Lots of chances.
Yeah, listen, it was from end to end, and how Leanne described it, absolutely bang on. Rangers had a good start. They got the kick off. They actually dominated for the first 10 minutes, forced Celtic into their own half, and then Celtic just got back into the game, and it looked as if they were going to maybe get that goal, which they eventually did. And that sets them up, and then they lost it a little bit. They lost control of the game again, and Rangers came back into it. So it's ebbed and flowed from end to end, and it's been a really good tempo to the game. I've really enjoyed it from that perspective.
What about you, Billy Dodds? What have you made of the Rangers performance in that first 45?
Really good to start with, then fell out of the game, but that was down to Celtic. Put the pressure on, showing a bit more composure. Celtic started by going too direct too quickly, and it just ended up giving Rangers the ball back. And thought they started well, Rangers. After that, Celtic dominating chance after chance, and then it's a brilliantly taken goal, isn't it? And then Rangers get back in it with the chances, and there've been plenty of them. It just needed better execution or quicker thinking when it comes to Dessers.
I talked to us about that, Bill. I mean, there must be a lot going through your mind as you're going through and goal there, but as Leanne said, he seemed to slow up.
As a striker like Billy, that must drive you insane watching that, Billy.
You've got to keep your pace up. You can't take it for granted in an Old Firm game that you're going to just slow down and you've got all the time in the world. There'll be people trying to retreat and try to get a tackle in on you, so everything you do has got to be sharp. He nicked it sharply, he cut in sharply, and I'm thinking, don't slow down now, big man. Just open your body up and stick it in the far corner. Or if you slow down,
Billy, take your touch across the defender. Have a bit of awareness that as soon as you take that touch across, you know the defender cannot make any contact. But I think he just feels like he must be the only Rangers player that thinks he's the only player in a Rangers jersey at Celtic Park today, because that's the way it looked like he had all the time in the world. And it was a good recovery from Johnson, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly, but there still should have been, whether he drags it across the defender, whether he slows down, he's still got to do the initial bit quickly and get across and then get his body in shape just to find that far corner. But he's got to get a shot away, some capacity. You can't let somebody make up what it must have been 5-10 yards on him and get a tackle in. So they've had chances, and viewing the penalty again, I think Alistair Johnson's a lucky boy. I really do.
Right, Bill, let me come in on that, Billy, because what we understand is, in terms of the SFA looking at that, the match officials didn't consider the defending player's hand-arm movement to the ball to be unnatural.
Well, he knocked it away from Dessers, from Seema. There's definitely a contact there. I thought when I viewed it again, it was the first one when he opened his arm out, and then when it bounces, I think he's got time to think, know where he is, know where his bearings are, and suddenly he's just lost it and had a little flick with his hand. Whether it's intentional or not, it doesn't matter. If it's not intentional and your hand's away from your body and it hits it, they give a penalty. I think he's lucky. We can break up with the way you want.
Was he not focusing on Seema, trying to get him out of the road rather than intentionally putting his hand towards the ball to knock it away? That might have been.
But he knocks the ball away.
I know he does. He makes contact with the ball.
It can be debated, but I think he's lucky that it's not a penalty.
I think he's lucky. I mean, what was that? What was you saying there? Because they're deeming it's not an unnatural movement.
Yeah.
But his hand is moved towards the ball.
Yeah, but he's
going to the laws of the game in IFAB.
He wasn't pushed.
Was it deliberate?
Right, so
no, it's not deliberate. I don't think it's deliberate.
Right. So he's not making his body unnaturally bigger.
So under laws of the game, match officials didn't consider the defending player's hand or arm movement to the ball to be unnatural.
Which is actually confusing, I would need to say, terminology, because going by the laws of the game, it's not about the movement being unnatural. It's about whether it's deliberate or not, or making his body unnaturally bigger, which I personally don't think he's done either. I get it, he's lucky, if you want to call it lucky, because it should have been a corner. He's defended the ball and it's a goal kick, so it's a complete get off in terms of Johnson's position. But for me, I don't think it ticks the boxes.
And he's on a booking as well
that we've seen this season. Talk about consistency.
So they haven't conceded a corner, they haven't conceded a penalty, and he hasn't got a second yellow. So that's a full house. Full house for Alistair Johnson there. Yeah, look, this one, if this finishes 1-0, we're going to spend a week, 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years.
And you will love it.
Talking about, I won't actually.
I'll tell you what there is in the game, Kenny. There's a lot of quality. Passing, when I thought, you take a touch here and you could get a heavy slap, son, and there's been lots of players who are hitting the right pass, the right time, showing composure. For Rangers to start with, I thought Lundstrom was incredible for about 15-20 minutes. Had to be, because Celtic were putting on the pressure. McGregor, Cantwell, I watched him closely every time. There's no problem when Rangers have the ball. Cantwell's got to get himself into offensive areas. It's off the ball, and first thing you do is look for McGregor, because Celtic try to start through him, and as soon as he left him for a few maybe 5-10 minutes, he started spraying the ball about everywhere and he dictated for Celtic. And we know he can do that. We've seen it so many times. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But I'm thinking, you've got to pop yourself on him sometime soon, son, or he's going to start just hurting you. And eventually, it wasn't obviously McGregor that got the goal, but they were dominating the play, which forced chance after chance in that period of time for Celtic.
Billy, what did you do if we go back to the cup final? What was your team talk, and what were the instructions to the players in terms of dealing with McGregor?
I played with a false 9. I put my striker on McGregor. That was it, and left the 2 centre halves on it. That was one of the things that I tried, and it worked to an extent.
Yeah.
And he was very quiet. So I just know, especially against teams in the Championship, but you can see it, teams in Europe, teams in the Premiership, he can hurt you. You don't think he is. Some people not knowing football look at it and not realise what Callum McGregor can do to you just by keeping on turning that ball over, ticking it over, just spraying passes about. And you just, other players grow in the team because he's just dominating, threading passes, playing it wide, and it's just the smoothness in which he operates, and he can just really get the other team. He can get his teammates going as well, because they're saying every time he gets the ball he'll find me, so they move better for him. So I just stuck a guy on him, and it was my striker, and I played with a false 9 before I get slaughtered like E.G. Craig Levine did. That's what I did.
If you look, you know, we have all these kind of graphics and stuff available to us here. If you look at the average positions of each of the players in that first half, McGregor, O'Reilly and Bernardo are average position right in the heart of the midfield. There's 3 of them against Rangers 1, which is Lundstrom. Cantwell playing further up. So there's three, and Furuhashi is dropping deeper as well. So it's kind of, in that midfield, there's 3/4, right in the middle of the pitch, there's 3/4-1 in Celtic's favour.
Sterling's there. Sterling's done well.
Sterling's further to the right. He's not through the middle.
He's still in midfield. He filled in a couple of times.
Yeah, but we're talking right in the heart of the centre circle.
Yeah, he's playing midfield. He's filled for people at times, Tom. I think Sterling's done okay. But you're right to point out at times there's 4 in there, and if the wide men come in, but it's 4v2 at times, and Sterling's done okay.
As we can hear, the teams are coming back out. Just another point in terms of that penalty incident. I've been told that apparently Sima was offside in the build-up to that move. So that's what I've been told. We've not seen footage of that yet.
Perspective.
But yeah, there'll be more on this, no doubt, as Tom said, throughout the day, the weeks and the months ahead. So time now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's a big day on Sportstown. As we said earlier, what a game to kick us off. Celtic against Rangers, a home side in front, live from Celtic Park now. The second half with Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, the 2 sets of players both back out, ready to go. No sign of any changes. Celtic were forced to bring off Stephen Welsh for Mike Nawrocki in their first half change. No alterations to the 2 11s since then, so it will be Hart in goal for Celtic. Johnston, Nawrocki, Scales and Taylor. O'Reilly, McGregor, Bernardo, Maidan, Palma with Kyogo. Rangers with Butland in goal, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Yilmaz, Sterling, Lundstrom, Cantwell, McCausland and Seam up there with Dessers. So Nick Walsh just about ready to get things back underway here. An entertaining first half, that finished with Celtic leading in a game many of a Celtic persuasion feel is a must-win, even though they are 5 points clear at the top of the table. Rangers with those 2 games in hand, lurking in the early part of the new year. Matches against St Johnstone and Hibs, which are to be rescheduled, and it will be Celtic who will kick off the second half with Matt O'Reilly, the ball in the centre spot, and off we go. Celtic right to left, the green and white hoops. Rangers in the blue shirts, white shorts, black socks, the red tops, and it's Maida with the header in towards the Rangers box, but it's cleared by Balogun. Massive 45 minutes coming up in the context of the title race in the 23-24 Scottish Premiership. There's Cantwell picking up in the midfield. McGregor beats him to it though. He's been outstanding. Out it comes to Taylor on the left. Celtic going right to left, attacking the Jock Stein stand end of the stadium, shooting west. Rangers shooting towards the Lisbon line stand as Tavernier brings Palma to the deck down on this near side, midway inside Rangers territory. Celtic looking to start the second half on the front foot here. Callum McGregor is over this free kick. He's actually going to leave it to the goal scorer. Bernardo rolls it back to Scales under pressure from Dessers, shrugs him off, finds McGregor, who side foots it into the centre circle for Nawrocki. Turned out to Maida on that right hand side. Goes back to Nawrocki, stepping away from Dessers. Forward it comes to O'Reilly. He's got it under control on the turn, fires it into the feet of Kyogo. Maida wants it, he decides to go alone! And what an outstanding goal that is! Kyogo for a Hassie with a Derby classic here, outside the D, left footed, top right corner, and Celtic Park erupts to the tune of their Japanese superstar. It is Celtic 2, Rangers 0, and that could be a massive goal.
What a strike from Kyogo. It was brilliant play initially, build-up play from Celtic. Good ball from Nawrocki at the back to play a penetrating pass in, and from there they played 2 or 3 passes. Kyogo just dropped off the centre half into a little bit of space. Ball's played into his feet, he gets turned. I'm saying he should have been sliding Maeda in, because Maeda had made a great run, and he doesn't. He goes for a goal and he hits it so sweetly up into the top left-hand corner of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper had no chance whatsoever. Brilliant strike, Billy.
The 2 goals that Celtic have scored have been the highest quality, they really have. And the problem arises for Rangers because Golson lets them come short. But let's not take away anything. He had so much to do, and when he shifted it to his left, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a hard one to beat Butland from there. But he just curls it away beyond them to the Butland's left-hand side, and he's left flailing. What a finish from Kyogo, it really was.
Well, he swept that away from a very fine goalkeeper in Jack Butland. And what an outstanding start to the second half that is for Brendan Rodgers. Nobody has a better record as a manager in this fixture than Brendan Rodgers does.
And obviously Kyogo has got some record against Rangers too. He's almost scored in every game. Has he scored in every game against Rangers? But he certainly has a fantastic stats. What a strike that was.
He's not been on the boil this season, I don't think there's any doubt about that, but that's his 10th of the season, having only scored 1 in 12 up until last week. And Cantwell looked like he was tackled by the ball there, couldn't control it, he goes down, and Callum McGregor goes long out to Maida on the near side. Philippe Clement's unbeaten start as Rangers manager is under the most serious of duress here in Glasgow's East End. The champions 2-0 up and making a statement here against the League Cup winners, who fancied their chances crossing town this afternoon. And whilst there's still time for them to make a comeback, it's odds against now that Rangers are taking anything from this fixture. Here's Nawrocki, right of the centre circle, out to Daisen Maida on the right hand side, midway inside Rangers territory. Steps in field, flicks it with the outside of the boot, goes straight to Yilmaz, bounces off him though, and back to Johnston, who finds Taylor, and he's been caught there, is he? No free kick. And Cosland finds Cantwell, and Cantwell robbed by O'Reilly, who finds Maida on the far side. Rangers have lost the midfield battle today, big time. Second best in every department in that area of the pitch.
Well, you can't dwell on the ball. You know, Cantwell's in a good position there to just get his pass away to Dessers. He dwells on it, and Celtic are always going to close you down with intent, and that's part of that intensity that they had in previous seasons. I think it's back today.
They're going to have to show the mentality that's put them on this long unbeaten run, Rangers, and I mean, it was a real sickener for them to lose that goal. You'd be coming back out. We said at half-time, 1 goal, you're still in it, you'll get a chance at some point, but 2, and it's so cliche, the next goal is so important. I mean, Celtic get it, game's done, but Rangers, you feel as if they get it, they're still not out of this one.
No, but they need the next goal, don't they? If they're going to make a game of this. Yilmaz goes forward, Dessers is going to chase it, but it's a lost cause. Nawrocki's the covering player, he's able to control it and chip it up the line, where O'Reilly knocks it back onto the chest of McGregor. Here's Johnston. Celtic's best display in weeks and weeks and weeks. But they've come up with this performance just when they needed it. Here comes Scales up across the halfway line. Taylor ahead of him. Now it's out to Palma. Palma skips in field. Angle ball to the right-hand side of the box for Maida. Tries to control. He's done so, but he's forced himself out of the box. He's over on the right-hand side under no pressure. Turns it back to McGregor. Infield to Taylor. McCausland with the challenge, but Taylor emerges with it in any case. Taylor back to McGregor. Two Scotland players. Now it comes to that right-hand side for Johnston. Moves infield. Johnston finds Kyogo, this back to goal, little spin, almost managed to flick it through to Maida, cut out by Balogun, and Rangers get it away. Rangers are being bossed here. They cannot get a feel of the ball. They cannot string more than a couple of passes together. Celtic very much in charge here on Derby Day, almost on 52. As it's dinked up the line by Rangers to Cantwell. Now he's in a decent position on the near side, looking for Dessers, sliding in Nawrocki, and out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Celtic 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, they did well, Rangers, there to break the press initially, and I thought that when Cantwell got the ball, he's got to drive on. He can almost slow it up again and allowed Celtic to get numbers back.
Celtic have a man down. There's no free kick, but the ref is going to stop play. I don't think he was giving a free kick there, but it looks as though Celtic have Matt O'Reilly. Is it O'Reilly that's down? Yeah, Matt O'Reilly's down. He's obviously taken a sore one, so there's going to be a stoppage in play here.
Yeah, it's going to be caught in the face. I think it was accidental, to be perfectly honest. I think it was a natural thing of just almost running and using your arms, and just caught him.
Packy was asking about Kyogo's record against Rangers earlier on. This is his 11th match against them. That is his 7th goal against them, and of course he was the match winner at Ibrox in the first meeting of the season.
I bet they weren't as good as that one though.
Well, the one at Ibrox wasn't bad, was it? But that was brilliant. Outside the D, arched it with a left foot into that top right bin, and it's a brilliant goal. Both Celtics goals today have been straight from the top drawer.
Yeah, that was an individual brilliance. You know, the movement first, to come off, create the space, get turned, and then almost take a touch and then strike it right. And the goalkeeper hadn't unearthly in the top corner, right in the stanchion.
As I say, it's his 10th goal of the season, double figures now. He'd 15 by this point last term, so he is down on the goal count, but he got back amongst it last week against Livingston, and I mean, if that doesn't send all kinds of excitement and shockwaves through you, then I'm not sure what will on a day like this, on a monumental afternoon in the Scottish Premiership title race, away from the title race, and the fans of other clubs don't care what the outcome is here at Celtic Park. 3 o'clock kickoffs, all on open, all mics, across all the divisions, of course. In the Premiership, Aberdeen, St Mirren, Hearts, Ross County, Kilmarnock, Dundee and Motherwell against Livingston. What a huge game that is at the bottom of the top flight. So all that to come at 3 o'clock, and then there is a Tuesday 2nd of January card: Rangers, Kilmarnock, Livingston, Hearts, Hibs, Motherwell, Dundee, St Johnstone, Ross County, Aberdeen, and then the 5 o'clock kickoff, they'll kick off at 3. Celtic are in Paisley for the 5 o'clock kickoff to take on St Mirren. Still, we wait to see what's up with Matt O'Reilly. I know Cerdine Idsan down there has had a chance to see replays of the incident that's led to this fairly lengthy stoppage, Cerdine.
Yeah, it's treatment for a facial problem. I think it's his nose. It looks like there's blood streaming from his nose. What happened when the Rangers player came past him, I think it was Sterling, when he played the pass and jumped out the way, his arm or his hand caught O'Reilly flush on the nose, so that is the problem. That's why there's been such a lengthy delay. I can see blood coming from the tissue that's being held against Matt O'Reilly's nose at the moment, so he's taken a sore one, hence the delay in play, Liam.
Yeah, there was an accident carried in, yeah?
It was, yeah. It was accidental, yeah.
This will be a concern. He's been magnificent this season. That's Kyogo nicked ahead of him though in the goal scoring ranks. It's Sports Scene highlights tonight of this game and the other Premiership game, 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel, incidentally.
Yeah.
Packy?
Yeah, I think he might have to go off, and whether they'll be able to patch him up on the sideline, but they'll have to get him off the pitch anyway. But that'll be obviously a blow to Celtic too, because he's an influential player in the middle of the pitch. I don't think he's going to come back on, Billy, looking at that.
You would think they'd try and stem it, the blood flow if they can, but not looking good so far. I don't see a sub getting changed.
Doesn't look like it,
no,
not yet.
Just going to try and give him a few moments, see if the blood will stop, and then can get back on with it.
He's needing a new shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, David Turnbull and Rio Hatate have gone for a little mini warm-up behind the goal, but I think he will be coming back on. But for now, Celtic are down to 10. They lead 2-0. Rangers haven't really threatened Joe Hart's goal since the break. As Goldson goes back to Butland. And again, that opportunity for Cyril Dessers comes under the microscope, doesn't it? Particularly now that Celtic have doubled their lead. As Goldson tries to switch it to Yilmaz and fires it straight into touch over on the far side. They just look totally shocked.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, Liam. I totally agree with you. I thought that the break with Matt Riley getting the nosebleed might have just helped and let them regroup, but Goldson gets it. It's a bit rushed, it's a bit hurried, tries to switch it over to Yilmaz and just straight out the pitch. So they're rocked Rangers, there's no doubt, but they just have to regroup and try and make a couple of passes and try and create an opportunity just to show Celtic that it's not done yet.
Here's Liam Scales picking it up from Nawrocki. On the turn, he rolls it back to his keeper. He won't have played competitively with Mike Nawrocki. Scales looking pretty comfortable just now, though. Just wonder how much longer Philippe Clermont leaves things the way they are. As Palma clips Sterling on this near side, McCausland takes a quick free kick back to Tavernier. Now it's with Lundstrom. Still Matt O'Reilly waiting to come back on. They're still working on his nose there. As Sterling collects on this near side, rolling it back to the right of the centre circle for Goldson, then out to Cantwell on this right flank for Rangers, turns it back the way to Goldson. He's in the centre circle, to the left of it for Leon Balogun. Out to Yilmaz on the left hand side, long ball angled into the box, Scales flicks it away. Alistair Johnston can beach the clearance as O'Reilly makes his way back onto the pitch, and Celtic are back to their full complement. 2 minutes shy of the hour mark. They lead 2-0 to the champions. Here's Connor Goldson out to Tavernier on this near side. Forward to McCausland, who goes back to Balogun. Left of the centre circle to Yilmaz. Bit of space to work in. Maida trying to close him down now, but Yilmaz is on his bike. He's up to the edge of the box. McCausland couldn't work it back to him. O'Reilly does enough. McCausland has it. Rolls it to Lundstrom, who's had a quiet afternoon. He's returned from that short spell out with injury. Seema back to Lundstrom. It's a deep ball towards Tavernier. Heads it down onto the 6-yard line. Cleared by Taylor. Sterling wins it at the edge of the box. Celtic fans wanting a free kick. They're not getting one. It's Cantwell. Passes it straight off Bernardo. Sterling wins it back. The ref didn't like it. Free kick Celtic. And Celtic 2, Rangers 0. And it's a yellow card as well to Dujon Sterling. Billy Dodds, I wonder if the Rangers manager's thinking of changing things right about now.
If he doesn't, I think it will be pretty soon. He might just leave it a few more moments, but I can't believe Cantwell's trying to nutmeg people in that area. He's been caught in the ball 2 or 3 times now. He started the game really well, but he's just fallen out here, and then I don't know what makes him think that he's going to get time in this fixture, because 2 or 3 times he's been robbed of it, and I'm thinking just shift it quickly and they might get a bit of joy. But he's faded out the game a bit, Todd Cantwell.
Yeah, and every single mistake he makes, the Celtic supporters are right on top of him. Just about on the hour mark here at Celtic Park. It's a long ball. Liam Scales out to this near side for Palma, headed away by Tavernier. Cantwell picks it up. Tavernier will knock it forward towards Cyril Dessers. Good challenging by Scales, and it's a free kick, a foul by Dessers. And again, the Rangers manager is to turn round and have that disgusted look in his face, Billy, as soon as they gave the ball away there. And it's Celtic in possession up the right hand side for Johnston, level with the edge of the D's. Pass in field, cut out by Lundstrom, and then Cantwell picks up and fires it back to John Lundstrom, stretching his legs, driving forward. Lundstrom, he's got Dessers to his left, finds him. Dessers is inside the box as I look up at the goal. Left foot shot into the side net, and it stays Celtic 2, Rangers 0, just beyond the hour mark. Cyril Dessers was in again, others couldn't arrive in support in time. He shoots himself, and it stays Celtic 2, Rangers 0.
Is that quality, Billy, or is it lack of confidence after that first effort that he had that he should have scored? Because he didn't look confident at all taking that one on. Just slams into the side net. It should have been across the goalkeeper.
I wouldn't say slams, I would say slaps. It was brilliant from Lundstrom, and I think that misses playing in his mind because his confidence is up after recent goals. But I think the opportunity he had in the first half definitely playing in his mind, because he kind of rushed that shot and it was slapped. Wasn't any power on it. I think a positive Cyril Dessers there is just getting it in a good position, driving in the box and making sure he's low power across the goalkeeper, but got nothing on that shot that was ever going to beat Joe Hart.
Such are the injury problems for Rangers. They don't really have replacement on the bench for Dessers. Subs for Rangers: McCrory, the sub goalie, Suter, Lammers, Cifuentes, Matondo, Dowell, Wright, King and Devine. Here comes Celtic with Scales, rolling it forward to Bernardo. Another for the champions would surely end this as a contest. Palma facing Tavernier, left of the Rangers box, looks up, low ball back to the edge. Bernardo tries to take a touch, he's eventually closed down. Celtic still battling for it with McGregor, but Rangers clear. Scales has it, little cushion header out to Palma. Another excellent showing from Liam Scales this afternoon. We approach 62 with Celtic leading 2-0.
Yeah, they were getting a wee bit risky in the first half, I thought, between Joe Hart and Liam trying to play out of the back. I think it was more of Joe Hart maybe passing the ball too quickly to him before he got into position, but he settled down really well.
Rangers giving it away. Palma with a little chip into the box, comes all the way through to Butland, evades Kyogo, and it remains at 2-0 to the home team. Bernardo in the first half, Kyogo in the infancy of the second. And it is 2-0, and Celtic currently cruising to 3 points. What have Rangers got left? They haven't lost under Clement yet. Tavernier to Goldson, and the challenge has resulted in Connor Goldson taking a really sore one just outside his penalty area. It was Bernardo's challenge, and he's just being pulled away from the scene just now by his teammate Palma, and he's left Goldson in a crumpled heap just to the left of the Rangers box, the right of it if you're the defending team, as Rangers were. Of course, he was relatively late to the party. Connor Goldson was a big fitness doubt for this one. He's back to his feet.
It was Tavernier that left him short, wasn't it? And had to react to it. Didn't look too much. I mean, we can't see it from this angle how much contact there was, but the Rangers players were trying to get at the referee and try to get something, but
he stood his ground, the referee, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He didn't give the
quite adamant.
Absolutely, and then he sort of stepped away from it, and then went back, and then stepped away again. So he did quite well.
Dessers wins it at the edge of the Celtic box. Seema's gone down. Free kick, I think it's been given yet. Dalasima brought down. Let's get news of our Rangers change from Kerradine. This is in an attacking position, this free kick. Kerradine first.
It's Kieran Dowell who's getting stripped here in the Rangers technical areas, so that's kind of a midfield reinforcement, isn't it? You were saying how Rangers being overrun in the midfield. I think the manager Clement identified that. Kieran Dowell about to come on.
Scored at Fir Park last Sunday, Christmas Eve, and there's going to be a little stoppage here. Abdallah Sima, I think the Rangers players are trying to wave their own medical team on. The referee eventually agrees with them, and Sima will get some attention here. Quite surprising, we're at the end of December here, Packy. If Celtic win this, it'll be the first time they've won 3 successive matches this season.
Wow, that's a stat. I didn't realise that, actually. That shows you how inconsistent they have been this season.
It's points clear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's that.
There's Champions League games obviously come into that as well.
Yeah. But from the league perspective,
not talking about league.
No.
And Rangers can get to 2, but they still have to win it. But with that start, with 8 points clear, quite incredible.
Yeah.
Well, it's a flailing elbow from Alistair Johnston on Sima that's caused the problem for the Rangers player on loan from Brighton. Johnston is already on a yellow card, and he survived that penalty claim towards the end of the first half. And Sima spark out on the deck here.
I don't know what they're always making signs to the dugout for whatever reason.
Now, obviously, the VAR can't go back and look at second yellow cards, but Johnston needs to be careful. He wants to see this game out.
When you're on the yellow card, also you know that right away you've got to be thinking differently. You know, I don't know whether that was an accident, but you know, listen, everything now is going to be looked over. It's going to be VAR. You know, you're under so much pressure as a player. Can you go into a tackle? Can you stay away? Do you have to stay away from people? You're a defender. You've got to body contact somehow. I know that one. I don't know whether Carradine has seen.
Yeah, let's find out, Carradine.
Yeah, it was accidental. It's one of those ones where the defender uses his arms for leverage, if you like, to get up in the air to challenge the attacker. I don't think there was any intent whatsoever from Johnson towards Sima. However, Sima has been hit in the face. He was getting his jaw massaged there by one of the Rangers medical team, and also his eye attended to. I don't know whether he wears contact lenses, whether that could be an issue, but he hasn't really moved much since he went down. He's conscious, he's breathing, all that kind of stuff, but there's two Rangers medics giving him attention as he now half gets up, so he is going to be able to resume, no problem. Looks like all the medical checks have been done. Great position from Rangers for the free kick.
Yeah, and they need to take advantage of this pretty soonish, Billy, you would imagine.
They need some sort of injection of positivity, because I think, as you said, at the start of the second half when Celtic scored, it was a real sledgehammer to them. It really rocked them, and they've not been seen since in this game. But this is an opportunity. You can see Yilmaz giving the thumbs up to Sima, so he was always going to be okay. But it's another one of those that's been in a really good position. We talked at half time how Tavernier hasn't been spot on with his delivery. Well, this is a real opportunity.
Yeah. He's eyeing it up, the Rangers captain. Scored a terrific free kick here up the other end last season. Rangers attacking the goal to the right. He also scored into this goal last season. Wasn't enough. Celtic won 3-2. And James Tavernier will take this. There's a couple of Rangers players behind the wall. There's a Celtic player lying on the ground as well. Tavernier, amidst the howl of boos and whistles, prepares to take right-footed. It's straight into the wall. Breaks back towards Yilmaz, who finds Lundstrom. Chip ball in towards the penalty box. Tavernier's header. Desser's leap doesn't get anything on it. He's offside as well. We're into the final quarter of the game. Celtic 2, Rangers 0. Celtic free kick, and again Tavernier, and it doesn't happen often, lets his team down on this occasion. Cantwell off, Dowell on.
Poor execution, I've got to say. He had lots and lots of time. He has been offered today from that perspective. It only takes one to hit the target with his pace and power that he gets on the ball. But that's Cantwell off.
Well, Todd Cantwell's departure brings a cheer almost as loud as the Celtic goals. So he makes his way off the pitch. Hey, this fixture, I would imagine Billy and Packy, who played in this many times, Packy played in it 60 times. I guess it can eat you up if you're not careful. Yeah,
there's days it goes for you, days it doesn't go for you. I know all about that from that perspective, but when you're on a high like Celtic is, 2-0 up at home, they shouldn't lose this game, but 2-0 is always a dangerous.
Yeah, but here comes Celtic with Johnston to the byline, gets the cross over, but it's over the crossbar, and that's going to be a goal kick to Rangers. Sorry, Packy, Philippe Clement's going to his bench again, Carradine.
Yep, Scott Wright coming on. It was interesting. Clement actually, it looks like he was gesturing to his own team. He wanted a double substitution, so where the blank was there, Scott Wright has come on now.
Yeah, Sima can't continue, so Wright comes on for him.
I saw that. He was enraged down there. He wanted the two done at once so he could leave his cell other options, but that might be taken away now.
Yeah.
You only have three, obviously. 3 times you can make the sub, and 2 are done within a minute.
He's only got one more go at it, doesn't he, now? As Celtic pick up Palma, but he's overhit the ball down the line, goes behind for the throw, and Celtic are going to make a change. Carradine.
Yep, David Turnbull will be coming on for Celtic. Just waiting to see who is coming off, but definitely Turnbull coming on.
Tavernier for Rangers, forward to Sterling. McCausland first time, Dessers can't get there. The game is so stop-start right now, and Scales, little back heel to Bernardo. Scales gets it back, he squares it to Nawrocki to slide to get onto it. Long ball forward, Tavernier with a header up towards halfway. Picked up here by Sterling down the line. Palma with a challenge this time and out for a throw-in. 20 of the 90 left. Celtic 2, Rangers 0.
He's no nonsense, Nawrocki, since he's come on.
He's slid in a few times. You've got to get your timing right now.
Bernardo coming off. We've got the Celtic party started in the first half with that outstanding goal from the edge of the box. Real pile driver. See, he made it 2 from 2, having scored his first for the club at Dundee during the week. And on comes David Turnbull. Headed away by Scales, and the ball to the edge of his box. Comes back to Goldson, who finds Balogun. Maida chasing him down. Balogun's giving it away. Kyogo through. It comes to Maida. Balogun brings him down, and that's a red card for the Rangers centre back. One of the most cut and dry decisions of the season for a referee, that one. Balogun is sent off, and Rangers' hopes of resurrecting this match are probably all over now. Maida was going to be one-on-one with Butland after Balogun's initial error. It is now Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 0. We've played 71.
What would you do, Billy? Would you leave it 1v1 with the goalkeeper and try to get a little bit of gentle pressure on to put him off when it's Maida, or do you?
I don't know. I've never been a centre half. But I know what you mean. I'm thinking there, just try and apply pressure, run beside them, and then. But as soon as you touch them, you're gone.
Sorry, Palma.
Sorry, Liam.
Billy can't see it because everyone's standing up and you're still sitting. But Palma received the free kick short, and he blasted it high over the bar, and that's a goal kick to Rangers. But that's a savage blow for Philippe Clement. He's made the changes to try and affect things. Balogun makes the mistake, and he's been pretty good since coming back into the side, to be fair to him. But that was a howler, and he's ended up trying to pull Maida to the ground. He succeeded in doing that. Professional foul. Off he goes, and Rangers' hopes go with him.
Yeah, what you know from Celtic, though, is they're going to, especially Kyogo, Maeda, they're going to put you under pressure right away. You can't dwell on the ball. You've got to get it away quickly. Play it back to your goalkeeper, your other centre half.
Foul by McCausland on Taylor. Free kick Celtic on this near side. And Brendan Rodgers continuing this magnificent record that he has in this fixture. He enjoys the best winning percentage of any manager that's taken charge of it for either club. This is his 15th. This will be surely his 12th win. 2 draws and just 1 defeat, which came at Ibrox in December 18. Ryan Jack's goal sealed a 1-0 Rangers victory. And actually, the next best winning percentage is another recent manager, Steven Gerrard. He was in charge of Rangers at 8 wins from his 13. Martin O'Neill next was 16 from 27. But it's Brendan Rodgers at the top of the tree as it comes through towards Palma, left-hand side of the Rangers box. Challenged by McCausland, who wins it back for Rangers and clears his lines up towards halfway. 2-0 Celtic against the 10 men on 73. Now they want to score more goals. Rangers are going to make a change shortly to try and stem things at the back. John Lundstrom's gone into centre back beside Goldson meantime.
Well, they have a problem now. Obviously, Lundstrom's gone back into that centre half position. Midfield now is going to be spare a little bit, and McGregor is going to just dictate play. It's difficult for them to put any pressure on him.
Midfield's been spare all day when you think about it. Tom mentioned at half-time.
Here's Palma, left-hand side of the box, finds Turnbull, looks for goal. His shot's pretty tame and allows Butland to make the save. He scored here against Rangers last season, did Turnbull, in a hammering. As Dessers picks up in the halfway, it's a poor touch, and Johnston has it. Let's get news of the Rangers change from Cerdine.
Yeah, Lundstrom coming off and John Suter coming on.
Here comes Celtic, it's with Maida on the turn, back to Turnbull. Rolls it to the right-hand side of the box for Johnston. First time ball, low into the box, cleared by Lundstrom. Only as far as O'Reilly, right angle of the penalty area for Turnbull. Johnston on the outside, he pulls it back instead to McGregor at the edge of the box. He shoots, it's blocked, it deflects out to Palma. Left of the D, looks to shuffle onto his right. Tavernier wins it back, though he was too strong for Palma on that occasion. Tavernier forward, it's Dessers. Dessers really good defending there in the centre circle by Mike Nawrocki to win it back off Cyril Dessers, and it breaks back to Yilmaz over on the far side.
His legs give up that time, and he got down on his. He's still got a touch on the ball, and wanted not the crowd reacted from a positive point of view because he was out of the game.
Celtic have it. Turnbull looking to knock it forward to Palma, left-hand side of the box. Palma dinks it for goal. It's a comfortable take for Butland though, in his 6-yard box. 15 of the 90 left. Palma goes down off the ball. Rangers have it with Tavernier. Down the line for McCausland. Shooter still waiting to come on down below us. Here's Tavernier, flicks with the outside of the boot for Wright. Is it pinched off him by O'Reilly? McGregor finds Taylor, who plays it back to O'Reilly, and now McGregor. Square ball for Nawrocki. Down the right-hand touch line goes Alistair Johnston. Two in green and white ahead of him. It's an early ball looking for Kyogo, who beats Goldson to it, but he can only knock it up high into the air, and it drops down into the gloves of Jack Butland. Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 0.
His movement was incredible again. You can see his mojo's back, isn't it, Kyogo, because when it's wide right, he ducks in behind the back of Goldson and then suddenly darts to the front of him. And how he got there first is beyond me, because Goldson was always a yard or two in front and he still got there but popped the effort up in the air. But brilliant movement from Kyogo.
John Lundstrom with a long, hopeful ball looking for McCausland. Scales will flick it away. McCausland gets some support from Dessers on this near side as Rangers pick up the loose ball. Dessers to Tavernier. Short to Wright. Just poked away from him by Palma, and Dowell can only knock it out to the far side where there's nobody in blue and white, and that will be a Celtic throw-in. And now that change will be made. John Souttar for Lundstrom, we understand, is the change, and that's been confirmed by Kevin Clancy, the fourth officials board. And once again, the Celtic fans greeting one of the Rangers players to exit the stage with sarcasm. And this has been the perfect afternoon for them.
I think that's a protective thing, Liam, in terms of he's been injured and the intensity of this game, and 13 minutes to go, plus it'll be a long stoppage time as well, so it's just about let's not get him injured again.
Turnbull for Celtic, looking for the pacey Maida in behind the defender. It stays in Maida. Kyogo's made the early run into the box, but Maida's cross is woeful, and it goes high and wide, and that will be a goal kick to Rangers, with Celtic leading 2-0. Doesn't really matter though in the Celtic supporters. Different story if it's 0-0 and Maida does that. But they are 2 to the good.
Of course, it was a lovely pick out from Nawrocki at the back. He's hit a few really good penetrating passes past the midfield into the front players.
There's Rangers on the ball here. Dowell forward to Dessers, back to Tavernier. First time looking for Wright. Nawrocki's the covering player. He gets there as well. He's been really impressive since coming on, and then he's brought down by Wright just after it, and that's a Celtic free kick. He's been excellent, Nawrocki. You can see on this showing, I think he normally plays left side. He's on the right today since replacing Stephen Welsh in the first half. But you can see why they spent big money bringing him to the club, and it must have been so frustrating for him personally, for Brendan Rodgers as well, when he picked up that injury so early in the season, 4 months out, but he's been excellent since coming on.
Well, he does look like a player that needs games though, because he's gone to ground probably been half a dozen occasions. Now he's come out and top in every single one of them, but on another day I'm sure with a little bit more game time I think he would have been a better pace.
Johnston wide on the right, gets the cross in, cleared by the first man though. Brendan Rodgers with a thumbs up to one of his subs. It looks like Liel Abada's going to be making his long-awaited return. I wonder if he'll be tempted to throw another 1 or 2 on as the Celtic ball comes into the box, and Tavernier nods it back to his goalkeeper, and it stays at Celtic 2, Rangers 0 with just over 11 minutes to play. Rio Hatate, another who's on the bench today for Celtic. We'll get confirmation of any changes from Kerridine in a moment. Here's McCausland for Rangers. Puts it straight to Maida in the centre circle though. It just hasn't been Rangers' day by any stretch of the imagination this afternoon. Here's Turnbull rolling it down the left-hand side for Palma. Up against Tavernier. He's now inside the box, outside of the right boot, finds O'Reilly on the 18-yard line. Shows too much of it to do John Sterling. You can come away with it for Rangers. Driving forward, doing so well to win the free kick off Turnbull, who's yellow carded. And Rangers have a free kick in the centre circle. Celtic leading 2-0.
Yeah, and it was a great pick out from Palma, wasn't it, on the left-hand side. He's a 1v1 with Tavernier, but he spotted Matt O'Reilly on the edge of the box free, and he's hit it with almost like the outside of his, a ping with the outside of his foot, and picked him out. Matt O'Reilly's just bad touch. Otherwise, I think he would have been in a great position to get a shot away.
Long ball for Rangers, headed away by Johnston, picked up by Wright, finds Dessers left hand side of the Celtic box, chops back onto his right side, passing it low back to Sterling. Sterling finds Dowell. Dowell's pass forwards cut out though by Taylor. Another who's had an excellent game. Forward to Kyogo, but Celtic second. Oh, he's done really well. Takes the pressure off his defence, fires it forward to Turnbull, who goes back to McGregor. Celtic captain. Now it's with O'Reilly, out to Johnston on the right hand side. Maida's on his bike again, but decides to pass it back the way to McGregor, who squares it to Turnbull. And then Callum McGregor to O'Reilly, to McGregor, to Turnbull, to McGregor. Celtic enjoying themselves. In a while since they've truly enjoyed themselves. Yes, they've won their last two. Yes, they looked a bit better. But this has been a massive performance from them this afternoon. You can hear the Celtic fans in the background cheering every single pass that is completed. Kyogo to Scales, to Kyogo, and then into the midfield. It's McGregor back to Liam Scales, rolls it out to the left hand side for Palma, who goes back to Scales on the halfway line. You get all your team news from the other matches taking place this afternoon, bbc.co.uk/SportScotland. The live text is up and running. You can find it in the club pages as well. The starting 11s have been named for the 4 Premiership matches and the matches across the country in the lower reaches, as well as the long chip ball comes into the box. Kyogo takes the touch, right-footed, saved by Butland's foot and behind for a corner, but the flag's gone up, so it will be a free kick to Rangers instead. And let's get to Kerdy Nidsan for news of a triple change for Celtic.
Yes, for the last 8 minutes plus stoppage time, Rangers will have to put up with 3 sets of fresh legs as Mikey Johnston and Liel Abada all come on, and I think the fullbacks might be getting a bit of a rest. Certainly Greg Taylor's come over to get a few words, but I wonder if Alistair Johnson might be one of the people coming off. But Maida is the first one to come off, but definitely coming on. Abada, Johnston and
Maida, Kyogo coming off. You would think Palma would be the other. Yes, it is. And there'll be a special cheer, I'm sure, for Liel Abada, because Paki, his goal scoring record is excellent. Assists, he gives you so much, and they've been missing him since the game at Ibrox.
No question about it. He's a big player. It's like a new signing for them, actually, to get Abada back into the team. Now, whether he'll be sharp and match fit, I'm not 100% sure, but he'll be delighted to get back. The fans have given him a great reaction today from that perspective. So, and he has got the ability. We know he's got ability, and he does get into great positions at the back post also.
Well, Rangers thought there was a weakness there. They thought there was an opportunity to come here, make a statement, and then kick on in the new year. But Celtic have had other ideas. It's been given away by Johnston though. Sterling drives up towards the edge of the box. McGregor with him all the way. Sterling goes into the challenge with Taylor at the edge of the box. Taylor's come off the worst there as it ends up back in the grasp of Joe Hart.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a lot in it. I think it was a kind of almost like a 50-50, was it?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the tackle. It's just everything he's got.
Yeah.
Dujon Sterling and Taylor wasn't pulling out it either, but he come off worse because Sterling just went right through him.
No, it's more his arm he's holding, is it?
He's getting back to his feet now. Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah, it's his arm that he's kind of almost got a bang in.
Joe Hart with the ball, finds Johnston to the right, and in field to McGregor, and back to Scales. I get the feeling that penalty decision in the first half is something that's going to run in the aftermath of the full-time whistle today, going by just the reaction of a few people. Celtic give it away, and now Dessers drives forward. He's up against Nawrocki, cuts infield. Cyril Dessers is in the box. His effort cut out though by Nawrocki, who stood firm. He didn't dive in that time.
No, it was good defending. He just jockeyed him and waited for Dessers to make his decision, and then he got the block in. And Dessers again just lacks that cutting edge.
It's conviction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here comes Abada, first touch for him, up against the defence, finds Turnbull, rolls it to Johnston. Delicate chip ball's the wrong option. It sails out of the box and out on this reverse side for McCausland. There were 3 or 4 green and white hoop shirts inside the penalty area. Rangers come away with McCausland. Rangers 2-0 down. McCausland chopped to the ground. Rangers free kick. We're almost on 85. Celtic 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, McGregor picks up a booking as well there. It was cynical. It was really good play by Celtic, and then it was really overhit by Johnston. I mean, he put it out the box, the delivery, tried to hang up to the back post, and that let McCausland go in the break. He was decisive, he was at people, and then McGregor just took him out of the game. Going back to
He didn't have to do it, did he, McGregor, because he'd lost control of the ball.
Yeah, but and it's maybe one of the best chances for Rangers to get something from, although the delivery, as we've been saying constantly, has not been good from Tavernier.
Tavernier with the free kick bent in, but he's put it straight onto the head of Nawrocki, who nods it clear, and it's picked up by Matt O'Reilly over on that right hand side.
I've got to say, it was in there, bad delivery from Tavernier. Put it into the area where people can attack. He's overhit it.
Turnbull for Celtic on the right hand side. It's a long arching ball, switch of play to Johnston. Mikey Johnston loses out to Tavernier. Picked up onto the chest here by Taylor. McCausland with the challenge, goes out of play for a Rangers throw in, and Celtic leading the 10 men by 2-0. Yeah, the Rangers supporters, they can protest about the penalty decision all they like, but what we understand, Abdallah Seaman an offside position in the build up to it, so it was the
that takes the controversy probably out of it, you know.
Just a bit.
There will be those out there who will still protest. As Dowell rolls it back to Suter, he squares it to Goldson. Long ball out to this near side for Tavernier, controls in the chest, looks up and looks for Dessers. He gets it on the chest, the edge of the box, breaks back to right, and his efforts blocked by Nawrocki. Well, there's so many positives for Brendan Rodgers to take from this afternoon. The victories in the post, the fact he's getting so many players back, and this is a massive statement as Dessers goes down. He's been fouled.
Free kick.
They are right in the edge of the box.
Absolutely, it's a free kick, and I think it's a booking also. He's got caught on the wrong side, Nawrocki, that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't have to. He didn't. He's running away out into that corner, and he's dived in a little bit, Nawrocki.
87 on the clock, Nawrocki booked. Rangers free kick left of the D outside the Celtic penalty area. There's less than 3 of the 90 to play. From what I hear, there will be a minimum of 8 minutes added on at the end of this. Rangers score now, give it a different complexion on the closing stages. But they haven't been great with set plays in and around the box.
No, but he has the ability. It only takes one free kick, and if he gets a right connection and the right trajectory, he can hit that target. It's the pace he gets on them also.
Tavernier and Yilmaz over it. It's Tavernier, he's gone for goal, he's found it as well! It's an incredible strike from James Tavernier, and the Rangers skipper hauls his team right back into it with 2 minutes of the 90 to play, plus the substantial stoppage time. It is Celtic 2, Rangers 1, and it's another Tavernier classic.
Well, his delivery, as we said, has been average at best, but that just rolls on to the quality goal in this fixture today. I mean, the 2 Celtic goals were unbelievably taken, but that possession from Tavernier, the reverse right into Joe Hart's top right hand corner, is incredible.
And Mikey Johnston up the other end, no free kick. Dujon Sterling pops up with it. Oh, that's changed things potentially, and now it's going to be a much nervier conclusion to proceedings than the Celtic supporters were expecting, than Brendan Rodgers was expecting.
Well, you know, we go back to the free kick. Nawrocki didn't have to do what he did. He got it caught on the wrong side, dived in, give away the free kick. And when you give away a free kick in that dangerous position, Tavernier has got that ability, we know, and you're right, Billy, he hasn't executed today any of the free kicks well, but there was the one, and it was a brilliant strike up into that top corner, and the goalkeeper, no chance.
Celtic pop up with the ball here with Greg Taylor. He's got loads of space to run into, moving up towards the edge of the box. His cross comes in, it's just behind O'Reilly though, and that's going to go out for a Rangers throw-in. Level with the 18-yard line over on the far side. We're in minute 90. Kevin Clancy is the board, clutched in his right hand. Last I heard, 8 minutes were being added. I wonder if that will have been increased because of the Tavernier goal and the celebrations. Last we heard, 8 minutes were being added on at the end of this one.
Yeah, well, Celtic just got to manage the game out. You know, they don't have to score another goal, and they've got that extra player, so they've got a free player out on that pitch that they can just pass that ball, but they're not making a good job of it at the moment. They're giving the ball away, and Rangers are just growing a wee bit and thinking that they're going to get something out of this game. Tavernier's pushing forward on this right hand side and becoming a bit of a threat.
Enough for Rangers there as well, going for broke here. McCausland first time, Tavernier right hand side, Dessers waiting in the middle. In comes the cross ball, Wright gets the touch, breaks off Nawrocki. Wright goes after it and McGregor clears. 8 minutes confirmed in stoppages. Goldson's challenge on Turnbull, he loses out though. It's Callum McGregor pressing it forward to O on this near side. A big switch out towards Liel Abada on the right, he kills it on the chest. Abada now driving up towards the edge of the Rangers penalty area, he shoots for goal straight at Butland, who holds on, and it stays Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 1.
Yeah, wrong decision. Yeah, he's got a slide. O'Reilly is bombing down his right hand side, and then the ball. After then a little ball across the face would have been a better option for Celtic. He's gone for the shot straight at Butland.
It's a real chance to take all the pressure off them. Celtic, not that there's been a lot, but over the last minute or so they've been asked the question now. You can see they're edgy, and there was a chance, as you say, just roll an O to the left, or O'Reilly to the right, and he takes a shot on and lets Rangers off the hook.
It's going to be a throw in the Rangers down the near side. Celtic felt it should have gone to them. McCausland takes it back to Sterling, challenged by O, and out for a throw in on this near side for Rangers. New life about them now. Here is Dowell switching it out to the left hand side. We're into the second of 8 minutes of stoppage time. It is Yilmaz turning it back the way to Suter. They've just announced the stoppage time, but we're a minute and a half since the board went up. Big switch, Tavernier controls, lashes it into the box, it bounces off Taylor and goes behind for the corner, and Greg Taylor's giving Mikey Johnston a volley of abuse there. Rangers have a corner.
Yeah, he's got to see where Tavernier is. You know, a big switch and Tavernier's in and puts that ball across. Could have went anywhere actually.
A big few minutes in the season coming up, let alone this game. Tavernier with the hands in the air now, he takes right-footed, bending in towards the penalty spot, too high for Goldson, flicked away by McGregor. McCausland sliding in to regain possession for Rangers as he slides it back into his own half for Yilmaz. It's now with Butland. He goes long with the right foot. McCausland surely in an offside position there, he's chasing after it anyway. And they've got to let it come to its conclusion. It's gone behind in the end.
But he was off. He was off. The assistant's got to let it go and then put his flag up. He didn't do it.
Joe Hart takes the goal kick short there. It's McGregor back to Nawrocki inside his own penalty area. Into his keeper. To Scales. Scales in. Squares it across his own box for Nawrocki. No Rangers player around him.
Oh no, O's got to be looking for that ball off Nawrocki. He's standing.
I'll tell you what, it's brilliant from Scales though, because there was a little bit of pressure on and he kept ahead and produced a good pass to Nawrocki.
This is Rangers' best period of the game, certainly the second half. It's McCausland wide on the left as they look for an equaliser. Here's Dowell inside the area, he's gone for goal. Tavernier is waiting for the cross to the back post, goes himself, and it will be a goal kick to Celtic. 2-1 to Celtic. We played 3 of the 8 that were added.
Yeah, again, Joe Hart taking the quick free kick. The crowd even all around us is telling them to
take your time.
Yeah. Take your time.
Dowell's, it's a crazy delivery there from him. Should have been along the deck. 2 Rangers players at the back post.
Here comes Mikey Johnston up the other end for Celtic. Chops away from Tavernier. Now he's away from Sterling. He's at the edge of the box. A lovely disguised ball. Turnbull goes down. No penalties in the referee. It was James Tavernier's challenge.
He's offside.
And he was offside anyway. So another penalty appeal which falls because of an offside.
This second half hasn't been as good as the first half, but the last 15-20 minutes has been incredible again. It's just lifted the tempo, and obviously the Rangers goal.
Wow, and we're hearing that he actually was onside. The referee's given the free kick. Then it goes back to, was there a penalty, was there contact?
Butland goes long, the header away by Nawrocki, flicked on by Abada. Turnbull then pushes Sterling to the deck. That's going to be a free kick to Rangers. 4 of 8 have been played in additional time.
Celtic just creating problems for themselves, aren't they? You know, they've that extra player, they manage the game out, keep it passing, they go for a goal every single time. Joe Hart's taking it too quick, just settle the game down.
Yeah, he's got experience as well, Hart. You would think he would just use all that nous, but he's not done it.
Tavernier's free kick into the left-hand side of the box, comes off Suter's head and behind harmlessly for the goal kick to Celtic. We've got just over 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 1. There's the second slip away from the visitors.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether they're going to take this short again, or are they going to play it up to Owen, or out into the wide areas where they can get something from it. Putting risk into the game at this stage is not what you want to be doing, Billy.
There's not going to be much time to dissect this game. There's plenty to dissect when we're done, but there's going to be additional time on top of the 8 minutes that were added, because Celtic have a man down, O'Reilly, inside his own penalty area, so the medical team are on attending to him. If you want the team news for your side's game, if you're a supporter of the clubs, kicking off at 3 o'clock right across the country, bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. The live text is up and running there, and you'll be able to find your team news at your club's page on the extensive Scottish football website at BBC Sport Scotland. Here on Sports Sound, the closing stages of the second derby between these two this season. Celtic leading it 2-1, but this has been more nerve-wracking, more finger-biting for them than they had bargained on, until James Tavernier sunk that free kick. With just a couple of minutes of the 90 left. O'Reilly being helped off, but looks as though he's going to be okay to come back onto the pitch here and help his team see this out. They're just over 2 minutes away, plus anything on top of that, from a priceless 3 points. Considering had Rangers won this, they'd have been right on their coattails with games in hand. Suter wins a header from the long Hart ball, but that's going to go out for a throw into Celtic over on the far side. O'Reilly now back on the pitch.
Yeah, I think it was McGregor that took control at that time and made Joe Hart kick it long up to O. They end up killing the game off a little bit because they get their throw in.
It's a foul by Suter. Free kick Celtic over on the far side for a challenge on O. And this is just inside the Rangers half, and this is a point where Celtic surely just have to slow it right down and run the clock down.
Absolutely.
And Alistair Johnston over it.
Played into the corner and get O to chase it down, use his body strength.
He's dinked it forward, but straight off Yilmaz. Scott Wright picks it up. His ball forward's cut out, but it's with Dujon Sterling now. He rolls it back to Yilmaz. Long ball forward. Dessers is going to chase after it, but it looks as though it's going to go out for a throw-in. Nawrocki, it's gone over the line. Dessers had nicked it off Nawrocki and was bearing in on Hart. Nick Walsh had a look round at his assistant over on the far side, Callum Spence, who indicated it was over the line and out for a throw-in to Celtic over there. And the Celtic fans now are trying to get their team over the line. The shrill whistles to the full-time whistle. And then John Suter's got involved with Kyogo over on the far side. The Celtic striker's gone down. Suter was standing up, facing him face to face there. Rangers players trying to pull O back up, and Nick Walsh has got something to sort out here in the dying embers of the match, with Celtic leading by 2-1.
Yeah, I think Golson could be in a bit of bother.
Nick Walsh wants to speak to a couple of players. Yes, Suter was the man involved with O, and he's got the card out. It's a yellow for O and a yellow. Is it a yellow for both? Certainly for Suter. Anyway, we can sort all the paperwork out.
I think maybe
afterwards.
3, yeah. Golson, Suter,
Golson and Suter both got. We're well into a 9th minute of stoppage time. Goodness knows what Nick Walsh has got left in his watch. The Rangers looking for one last chance. Butland with a long free kick up towards the edge of the Celtic box. Suter wins the header, nods it infield. Wright tries to knock it towards a teammate, but Mikey Johnston emerges with it and flicks it away. Kyogo with a header this time. Back by Dowell, away by Johnston. Dowell driving forward. O'Reilly knocks it out for a throw-in. All eyes are on Nick Walsh here. We're into a 10th minute stoppage time. He's had a look at his watch. He plays on though. Bowled down the line, cut out by McGregor. One back by Johnston from McCausland. Mikey Johnston to O. Looking to spin Yilmaz. O driving forward. Yilmaz with a good challenge, wins it back, and Sterling rolls it to Golson. Long raking ball ball, looking for Dessers at the edge of the box. Headed away by Taylor. Awkward bounce from Alistair Johnston. He gets it back to Nawrocki, who clears. Still we play on. Celtic 2-1 up. Rangers still have it. We played almost 10 minutes in stoppage time. 8 were added. Comes off Wright's head, and out it goes for a Celtic throw-in. And surely the champions have done enough now.
Yeah, it looks that way.
It's sheer madness, desperation.
Desperation, yeah, absolutely. From that perspective, Celtic probably deserved to win the game today because of the goals and because I think in the second half they dominated most of it. But then you've got to give credit to the Rangers at the end. They kept going, they got that goal back, and they put Celtic under pressure.
Celtic's second goal rocked Rangers, but when Rangers get it back to 2-1 with Tavernier's free kick, that's certainly given Celtic a bit of a shake, hasn't it? Because they've panicked. They've kind of thought, well, do we go and get a third? Rock a hard place time. Do we go and get a third and try and make it a comfortable end, or do we just sit and try and take a 2-1?
This game's still playing on, by the way. We're almost 11 minutes into stoppage time. It's cleared by Scales, out for a Rangers throw, and still play goes on. The Celtic fans are asking why. John Kennedy's asking Kevin Clancy, the fourth official, why this game of football's still on. It's back with Goldson, long ball forward, away by Nawrocki's head. Nick Walsh looks at his watch again. It's not back towards the edge of the area. There is the full-time whistle, and there is the roar from the Celtic fans, which tells you that Celtic have picked up a monumental victory this afternoon. Rangers came here with big ideas, having won the League Cup 2 weeks ago, having chiselled Celtic's lead at the top of the table. They thought they could come here and win and have a couple of games in hand to take control at the top of the table. But the champions had other ideas, and they've put Rangers back in their box here. A lot more narrow a scoreline than we thought it would be when they doubled their lead just after the break. But they'd more than enough on display today to justify the 3 points. Paolo Bernardo with a wonderful strike on 26 to give them the lead for his second goal in just a few days, having opened his account at Dens on Boxing Day. And on 47, Kyogo, an outstanding goal, left-footed, edge of the D into the top right corner. And it's got to be special to beat Butland from that kind of distance. And Bernardo and Kyogo both managed it today. Tavernier's outstanding free kick with 2 of the 90 to play gave Rangers hope. But Leon Balogun's red card made it all the more challenging for them, and they could not find an equaliser. And Philippe Clement tastes defeat for the first time as Rangers manager. And it comes here at the lair of the champions. Brendan Rodgers continues his wonderful record in this fixture, and Celtic are 8 points clear at the summit of the Premiership yet again. After an entertaining game of football here between these two in Glasgow's East End, it finished Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 1.